Sorry about that intermission. Hold on. Let me see if I got some audio here. Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Let me see here. Let me check and see if I got my sound working. Testing, 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 testing. All right. Okay. All right. So yeah, this I basically was I was watching Jason Black the Business Show, and I saw a familiar face. It's a chick that I was following on Instagram. It was I think her name is definitely Karen, and I don't know. I was just watching YouTube on my TV, and I mean actually on my phone, and then that I saw her face, and it looked familiar because she has like some streaks in her hair, or she's like prematurely gray, and she doesn't use any type of like hair coloring or anything like that. She just, I guess, is like going with it. I don't know if she's like half Asian, half black or whatever. I don't know, but I mean, she definitely has. She looks, nice. She has like a looks good as far as her facial appearance and stuff like that. She seems like kind of like a pretty female nerd. But you know, what I found out about her is like, because I guess she wanted to that she was with some other chick that I was not familiar with, and she was basically they were both, I guess, divorced. And I mean, both of these women, one of the things that they were both, as far as their behavior, what I noticed was they were real pretentious. They're like really pretentious, and it just reminded me because one of the woman Karen, she kind of exposed her life, and why she really divorced her husband. And I mean, just to put context in it, her husband was like basically a valedictorian. He checked all of the boxes. He was monogamous. He didn't argue with her. He didn't put his hands on her at all. And I mean, he just was a perfect husband, and she still divorced him. And her basis of divorcing him was based off of her not being able to do what she wanted to do and go where she wanted to go. I mean, like like literally, like, I mean, I'm probably gonna do a video about it. I don't want to do something right away because it just happened. I mean, that'll just be like straight just grifting. But the thing is that you really can't make this shit up as far as like the stuff these women say. You don't really know what happened to him. Like, this woman is a life coach. She's a life coach, and she's giving women and men advice on multiple issues. And she's basically got major issues herself. I mean, she's like, I mean, we all got issues, but she got some major issues when it comes to, like, you almost have to, the way she was talking was like, you almost have to be perfect, like, to actually even talk to her. Like, I'm gonna show you what her Instagram is, because it's like, it's public. I mean, mine is public as well. But like, man, I mean, this chick, man, basically is it's like her idea of what you have to be is almost like a robot to impress her. Like you have to be a robot and you have to be able to read her mind, and that's that's how you and even if you read her mind, meaning he asked her a question about, if a guy approaches her on the street, what would he would she give him any type of play? And her response was, he would have to ask me, am I looking for someone? And she'll say, oh, I'm not looking for somebody right now. So it's like, I mean, what woman actually, like, says you got to be able to read her mind first and ask her what she's looking for first, before you even say anything? Like, I mean, it's just like all of these, like, basically perfectionist type of like responses she was given. And it's like a lot of women are like this. Like, believe it or not, this is the thing, man. Like, you almost have to some women. I mean, she's definitely like a 92 octane, right? You have to be perfect, damn near, and even perfection is not enough to please these women. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why I basically say that I don't even try. I really don't even try. I just live my life. I do what I gotta do, and then basically these women, basically they for the cheap. They for the cheap. What I mean, but they for the cheap is because basically, if you don't feed off of their perfectionist lingo and all of the stuff you have, like, you have to check all of these boxes and shit. You have to be this way. You got to make this and all of this crap. If you don't fall into that shit, you just live your life and you just enjoy yourself. Guess what? It's one or two things that's gonna happen. One, you're gonna get some woman regardless, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Women basically, here's the thing. It's not even based off of women. It's based off of stats. See, one of the things that you don't know, you probably overlooked when in regards to like how how much Kevin Samuels was a genius as far as like how he operated, and basically how he would basically kind of put women as far as in their place, as far as their talking points and stuff like that. He would use statistics. That was like one of the things that he did that other people didn't do. He would just basically shoot back statistics. Well, when it comes to, like, I guess you want to say dating and mating in America, one of the things that you have as a weapon is statistics. One of the statistics is basically overall women outnumber men. That's first off. That's what I've been telling my cousins since they was like little, like teenagers. I said, do not try too hard. Don't be trying to do nothing crazy. Don't be trying to get in trouble or nothing to please none of these women. You already, by proxy of you being healthy, you being strong, you basically not locked up behind some wall or not sick, in a hospital or walking around with a disease. You are already statistically basically available and in the running for the women that are available and are around you, because women outnumber men, period. And that's just period. Like, not, that doesn't even include race. That's not race specific. It's just women in the country, period, outnumber men. Now, depending on what area you're in, that might be way lopsided. Like, for example, one thing about Atlanta that I'm hearing a lot about, Atlanta is going through basically kind of like a transformational boom. Is going through basically um, a demographic boom. In the last 20 years, actually, Atlanta has been going through a demographic boom, right? One of the crazy things about Atlanta, why I'm tempted to like catch a flight and shit like that, and thinking about it, is because Atlanta has a thing where it's kind of unique, and it's been like this, and it's getting worse for women. They have way more women than there are men available. And I've been to Atlanta, so Atlanta has some really warm weather, very like nice weather. It's probably real hot right now, but I mean that warmness and that environment, and just like just having everything around you and stuff like that. You have a lot of women that they are young and they are horny and they are ready to like blow up, like literally, like they pussies are just like freaking firecrackers, waiting to blow. Now, some of them you don't want, because they literally the pussy's on fire, because it's a lot of STDs down there, but they have a lot of women that are just like basically available, and they don't like have a lot of men to choose from. So a lot of them choose basically share guys that they know are sleeping with other women. So I mean basically like um you have that type of situation going on down there in Atlanta, and a lot of different places down south. Um but just overall, women in general outnumber men, period. Like, and then when you go to black women or black people, black women outnumber black men uh just by default. It's been that way for a long time. Now there are some negatives to why that is, as far as prison, as far as disease, as far as death and stuff like that. For men, for black men, it's a lot more women available than there are men. So knowing that, that's one of the reasons why I kind of never really tried to extend myself too much. Like I never really like tried to sell drugs or anything, scam or commit fraud or anything like that. Or and then a lot of times you kind of forget this, and that's just one statistic that basically it's a reminder to why you know basically a lot of the others, the boxes, all of the boxes the proverbial boxes that you have to check, per se, that women say that you have to check, is, I'm not saying that it's bullshit. I mean, it's stuff that they say, because one of the things is, let me turn this AC down. One of the things is that also you have like kind of a shadow world. Shout out to cousin T-Tall. I'm not the type of person to say stuff and then don't give people credit. Some of you guys, you have problems with that. But you have the shadow world, and then you have um, basically the regular world or whatever, you know, that most people see. What a lot of times what people don't see is the shadow world. In in the shadow world, basically you have women that are professional women like this, and they actually are having sex with men that basically are regular dudes. They are, you know, not even rich and famous, not even not even financially well off. They're broke. But they might meet them, in a club, or the girlfriend introduced them. The girlfriend already been with the guy and said he's packing and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, you have the regular world where, I'm not saying this chick does that. I don't know this chick what she does, but I'm just saying you'll be surprised as far as like what women say they want, but in the shadow world they're actually doing something else. They haven't, going to these bachelorette parties, and they're sleeping with strippers. They're going to girls trips, and they're sleeping with the local, guys in the countries they travel to. They're having little lingerie parties, and then they're, doing lesbian activities and shit, and even sleeping with, guys in the little areas that they're at the little sleepovers they have. Because a lot of times, yeah, women are not necessarily getting married, right? Like that, right? So they're not having a lot of bachelorette parties, but because they want to have like bachelorette party you know, type of activities, what they'll do is have these girls sleepovers, and they'll just hire a couple male strippers to come over and have a little quasi bachelorette party, but it's nobody getting married. It's just a girls, basically sleepover. All of this type of stuff goes on, but you'll never know, because women are very good at keeping secrets. So yeah, it's like the whole interview that Jason Black did is it's on his channel. And like I said, I'm not about to do no play by play, because I mean he just had the video up, and I just thought it was like interesting. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why I thought it was interesting, because I was looking at this chick on Instagram, and I was wondering what the fuck was up with her, because she kind of did seem very pretentious on the video she did. I was, I kind of like, I asked myself, okay, what does this person content provide for me? I mean, besides a pretty face, a nice body, or whatever, what does this person provide? Like, and it's like I really couldn't put a idea of what this person provided, and I was compelled to unfollow her. But I was like, this chick's a cool, like, pretty nerd type chick or whatever, you know six, as high as a seven, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I'll keep her around. And when I saw the Jason Black interview, unfortunately, yeah, after this live stream, I am not going to be following her, because what she said is, I don't want anything. I don't want that. I don't want that in my timeline. And I definitely, I just don't want that in my timeline. I'm not about to say what somebody else should do or anything like that. I don't want that in my timeline, because basically I just don't want no pretentious chicks that I know that are pretentious, and just, just have a, I just don't want that energy around me. That energy, like if you watch that interview, that will show you why guys are compelled. I could, I'll be like, why guys, make a big deal out of marriage? A lot of times I just be thinking, okay, why do guys make a big, I understand. I've definitely been married before. I'd be like, why is guys so like, concerned about marriage and stuff? And it's like, I understand. I think that guys don't want to have that on their record. They don't want that on their record to have to be married and then have a divorce. It's kind of even goes into the whole family dynamic. It's kind of shameful to your family to have a divorce. That's not something that your family looks and they actually want for you. They don't want you to be divorced. That's kind of like a black eye of the family. And what this chick said in the interview, like I said before, she said that she basically, her husband checked all of the boxes. All you guys that are, you know, you have this whole Pookie and Ray Ray and educated lame debate. Well, where her guy was, it was the king of the educated lames. He was a valedictorian. He was, basically a saver in college. He amassed a fortune in college by saving and investing, I guess, being financially astute. He married her. I guess she was, in smart or whatever. She very much. I won't take none away. She probably is a smart chick. Definitely 92 octane type chick, right? And I mean, the thing is that these are the type of women that I actually like too. I talk a lot of shit like about as far as how I like bougie, smart chicks. You know what I'm saying? She's the archetype of a chick that I kind of like, right? Well, the reason why I unfollowed her today, I was already kind of leaning toward that, is that she is definitely somebody that I don't want around, because she kind of like, I don't know how that interview with Jason Black transpired, whether he brought them on, or they wanted to come on there for some type of like shine or whatever, to get some market themselves. But some of these women, I think they shouldn't even try to join certain platforms, because I don't think that did them any service. I mean, they, if that chick didn't go on Jason Black, I probably would have. I don't know. Eventually, maybe I would have unfollowed her, but it was like she kind of helped, like the universe, like she helped me out, because she really kind of like, she would never have said what she said, probably most likely on her Instagram. I mean, most people don't expose anything about their personal life, right? She basically said that this educated lame that she married checked all of the boxes. He was a valedictorian in college. He basically he made good money. He was monogamous in marriage. He didn't cheat on her. They didn't even have arguments. He definitely didn't put his hands on her. She complained about not being able to have a hairstyle that she wanted, and not being able to go where she wanted, and being incompatible with her husband that she agreed to marry. So when it comes to guys like being like, what, I don't want to get married, it's just like, if you watch that interview, I mean, it's just another example of why I understand. Even me, I'm like, thinking about, one day possibly getting married again. I'm like, traditional American marriage. I'm like, man, what the hell? Like, okay, I go get everything together. I, become a millionaire. You know, I got I got my mini mansion. I got my Lambo in the garage. I got my other house, and to get another, I got two houses, and you know what I'm saying. I got everything that I wanted, right? A full millionaire savings plan complete, right? And it's like I go find some chick, and then we have a good time. Everything is wonderful. I mean, just like picture perfect relationship. That's in the red pill spaces. This type of woman is called a new Walt. She checks all the boxes in the Christian world. I think she's called uh what is she called? I think Ruth, or uh I forgot the name that they call it in the Bible terms. I think it's like, see, the Ruth, or um I forgot the name. But the thing is that yeah, I mean, just the perfect person, right? Y'all, have a very good relationship. Y'all, everything is wonderful, right? And then all of a sudden, your wife gets bored, and she gets mad about some like pretentious ass shit, like her haircut. You complained about why she cut her hair. This is literally what she complained about. Like, um, she wanted to go to some hot spring somewhere in the world, and you said no, that's dangerous. And basically, you didn't like little small inter details of her life and shit, and you didn't agree with it. That's enough for her to divorce your ass. Uncontested divorce. And it's like, I mean, I don't know as far as what she got as far as in the divorce proceedings, as far as any type of like financial breakdown, but in many regards, in many states, your wife is entitled to half of what you have as far as your fortunes. Whatever your wealth is, she's entitled to have. And then another thing, I don't know about other states, but in Illinois, after I think 5 years of marriage, your wife gets entitled to half of your pension or half of your social security. So all she has to do is just be married for a period of I think 5 to 10 years. I think it's just 5 years, and she gets half of your pension or retirement. And it's like based off of the fact that she just it could be anything. It could be anything. It's like no unstated. It could be like basically just no reason at all. I mean, just basically that will fall under irreconcilable differences. I mean, what the fuck is irreconcilable differences? Like, people are gonna have differences. I mean, we are humans. I mean, everybody is not the same. You ain't one week you're gonna like to eat Italian, the next week you might want some Chinese food. I mean, like, that's enough to file for irreconcilable differences just because you didn't agree on the same restaurant. Like, that's all you have to do to get divorced for. Like, that's enough to get a divorce, literally. So I can understand why guys be like, you know what, fuck that shit. I'm not about to get married. If you want to get married, we can get married and just make a contract, and then that's it. We married, and that's it. I'm not about to get married to you, not to file no state paperwork, none of that. Cause it's just because of shit like this. Like, it's it literally it's just another reason to why, if a guy that's a valedictorian, right, in college, what's going on, Nino? I don't know if you saw Jason Black's The Business live stream, but yeah, like, I mean, you could be perfect. You could be the perfect husband. You could be, making $100,000 a year. A valedictorian is very rare. That's the top of your class. She didn't say what university, but it's like, dude, I mean, a valedictorian, high earner, um, patient, saver. I mean, financial responsible. Provider. You know what I'm saying? No arguments. He ain't put her hands um on her. Just a perfect picture, perfect marriage. And her being so pretentious was enough to basically file divorce. Okay, for a guy like myself, you I mean, only a few people, because here's the thing, like I don't even, people some people dismiss people's educational accolades. I don't. Trust me, I've been to college for a long time. College is not easy. If somebody was a valedictorian and they graduated college, a lot of black people don't graduate college. If you research the statistics of black people, I'm just talking about black people as far as the dropout rates. A lot of people in general do not finish college. So you got a lot of people that don't finish college. This man not only finished college, but finished college as a valedictorian, and he checked all the boxes, and it still was not enough to keep the marriage going, to basically um satisfy this woman in marriage. And it kind of goes into, like I said, let me it's an old post that I posted about it was basically I won't look for it because it always takes me like 10 minutes to look for something. But basically it was a post. It was a old picture of Idi Amin, the president. I think it was either Idi Amin or um is another the guy, I think, in the Congo or Uganda. Um, Basically he said, don't try to impress these women that they get fake hair, they get fake nails, fake this, and you give them money, you get them clothes, you get them purses, and they still not happy. Don't try. Don't even try. You know what I'm saying? Because oh, okay, yeah, I was peeping that. I saw that on DJ Cooter's, man. I was gonna watch that. I had saw it. I was gonna actually watch that. I could actually, I got time, man. I could actually watch that now. Is it long? Let me see here. Let me see if I could let me see if I could watch that documentary. Let me see here. Yeah, I got this just basically all of this is impromptu. It's that's why I put the channel name Summer Madness. Let me see here. Yeah, I'm still okay. Let me check your channel. Let me see here. Channel. Let me go to your channel to see this documentary. Let's see here. Okay, 40 hours, 49 minutes. Is there any like kind of key points to where I could start and maybe talk about like any I might not be able to get through all 49 minutes. Is there a good 15 that is like, I could start from, maybe start from the top or what? Okay. All right, I'm gonna fire it up. You know what? I got time tonight, man. I ain't gonna trip. I got time. Hold on. Let me share my screen. Okay. Um if you want to come up and talk about it, or you 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 know what I'm saying? It's up to you. Okay, hold on. Let me just give you a link here. Let's see here. Copy this. Yeah, I'm just chilling, man. You know, I was. It's a long story, but I got time tonight, man. Let me share my screen. Let me get this going. Let's see here. I saw your other documentary on Asian. I think it was Asian hate or something like that. Okay. All right. But yeah, man. It's like, yeah, going back to what I was saying about the homegirl. You get. It's best to always focus on you, man. It's best to always focus on you because you can't make nobody else happy. This woman, you got a lot of women like her that, whether it be narcissism or whatever it is, what's going on, Nino?
What's going on, homie? How you?
Man, I'm good, man. Blessed, man. You know the
That's what's up.
rest.
Ain't long time no see or hear or talk.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
man.
I be seeing you around. I see you around, but I don't be, I don't see you a whole bunch.
Hey, man. Hey, sometimes the universe aligns, and it's all good, man. It is what it is. Let me change my avatar to let me see
I
here,
like
man.
that though. I like what he got on.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, that man, Mr. T was the truth, man. I actually met him when he was I was I was about 4 years old. He went to my preschool. He gave us all the whole classroom Mr. T dials. Um,
That's
so
what's
so
up.
Mr. T is certified. He is he reached back, because at the time this was about 84, and I went to a preschool that was surrounded by the projects. You
But
know,
he was the first one that was started to drench his neck and all those jewelries and all that.
yeah,
And you found
yeah,
other guys start doing that.
yeah. He said he was trying to personify his African roots. He identified with the Mandinka tribe in Africa, and that's why he had the mohawk. A lot of people thought he had the mohawk because he was trying to be Indian, but he was,
But that was a trend though. He
yeah,
started a trend because a lot of people started wearing it.
yeah, man. But Mr. T, he is definitely he's forever in my thoughts because at the time a lot of people don't. I don't know, maybe because of the way I talk or whatever, but I am definitely have a lot of Pookie and Ray Ray history, man. Because like I said,
Where
this
you put
was this was 84.
uh-huh.
The low end Chicago, around 35th and State. I'm talking about, I was surrounded by the projects. We were still living in Chicago. I was in my preschool was right across from the projects. Mr. T came in my preschool and gave us all Mr. T dials. I mean, with
Yeah.
the Kung Fu grip. I mean,
I
uh,
remember I had one man when I was a kid. I had stripped Armstrong. All those things like that.
yeah, and
Yeah.
and I can't. You know what I'm saying? That was actually the first time any celebrity came into my classroom, my school. Ain't no other celebrity actually came to. I mean, I'm talking about like my classroom on a
Yeah.
personal level.
What was he? Was he from Chicago?
Yeah, Mr. T is from Chicago. Yep, yep.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought New
Yeah,
York or something.
No, Mr. T is born and raised in Chicago. He was just coming back to support, you know. And he lived, all of the mansions I was showing. That's like up north in Illinois. That's
Yeah,
where
from
he
a long
lived.
time ago. Yeah, yeah, I remember.
That's where he lived. He lived in Lake Forest at one time for a long time. Because he made a lot of money off the A Team and the Rocky, all the movies. He used to do wrestling and stuff like that with Hulk Hogan. So he made a nice bag, and he moved in one of the richest parts of Illinois, man, Lake Forest for a long time.
Okay.
Uh,
And
but
I
but
bet you
yeah,
used to be a lot of snow up there too.
oh yeah, it get colder up there because you're going towards the Arctic. Further north you go, the closer to the Arctic you go, it gets colder. Yep.
Damn.
It's yeah. It's you go to Minnesota, Wisconsin, it get colder and colder, and then
Yeah.
Canada. Shoot, I don't know how them black folks survive
Milwaukee.
up there.
Yep,
Yeah,
Milwaukee too.
yeah. But let me get this going because this
Okay.
is real long.
Hey,
Let
but
me.
tell you, I mean, you if you got any questions first about it,
Oh yeah, what is this? What is this? What made you compelled to do this
go
documentary?
to go to the about go under the video where it tell you what it's about.
Okay, all right,
Where-
show more.
Okay, look at the topic. It says the Pookies and the Ray Rays. Is there a place for us? Part one, not the causation of your situations. Okay, now you can read it out. Just
Okay,
look at the first part.
okay,
Yeah,
okay. It says this has been an ongoing topic in the Black YouTube spaces. Usually, the ad verbiage Pookie or Ray Ray is a negative term for Black men who seem to have thrown their lives away and wasted in crime, poverty stricken neighborhoods, and usually aligns with a certain look. My question above about the terms Pookie and Ray Ray prompted me to do a full investigation by first going to the root of the problem. My source was Dr. Jawaza Kunjufu, author of Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys, written in 1983, and his tour of films and lectures started in the classroom in 1987. You know,
yeah.
it's a reason why I know how to pronounce that name.
Hey, I'm Nigerian too.
No, it's not that. My mother used to rave about uh
Dr.
that book.
Shawanza Kanjufu. Okay.
Yeah, he used to rave, man. Didn't he? I think was he the person that started Kwanzaa?
I don't know, but go
Oh,
go back down a little bit more.
okay,
I'm gonna read it. I know it's too a lot to read, but I just want to explain to you and the
okay,
audience, just so in case they come back and listen to this,
okay,
it just basically, um, it was just so much of the controversy around the Black manosphere and the Black YouTube spaces where you know this is what I said here. Say, while everyone else was spewing out their meaning of the term Pookie and Ray Ray, I found that they too did not know why they were calling every Black man they saw Pookie and Ray Ray according to what they felt a person of this character should look like in appearance. You know, and it's usually a dude that get mad at you on the panel, and all of a sudden, oh man, I
mhm,
bet you got 4 or 5 kids. Oh, you're
yeah,
Pookie. You're
yeah.
and you're none of that. So
Mhm. Well, here's the deal. After I know this was getting real heated. Um, Dennis Sperling was actually kind of like leading the torch for that. I think last year.
yeah,
Um, but here's the thing, in further observation, as far as how I look at it. Like I said, you can descend. Okay, it's the whole Pookie and Ray Ray and educated lame or whatever, or the uh, you know, um, the high value striving man
I
or
talk
whatever.
about all that. Yeah,
Yeah.
just
So
go ahead and click on it
yeah,
and just get into it a
let
little
me
bit. That
let
way.
me finish. Let me finish just real quick.
Okay.
What my take on it is that you can actually ascend to both. It's
Mm-hmm.
guys that I know that were like I said, I promised to God to you. I'm from the projects,
Yeah.
around the projects. Now I never lived in one, thankfully, but I was around them. I've
Yeah.
been around. I was definitely. I was either Ray Ray or Pookie. I don't know which one, but I was definitely one. And
If you was well, Ray Ray is the one that has a job at least, but
yeah,
he's too good. But the Pookie was just supposed to be, one that just do Pookie shit, don't do nothing, ain't got nothing going on at all.
these were me. These were my friends, my peers, and I've been around guys that was quote unquote their contemporaries, right? Educated lane, and I've been
Yeah.
both. I know tons of guys that they would check the box of being a Pookie and Ray Ray, but now they are educated, they got jobs, they got
Yeah.
families. Yeah, but that's all I was gonna say. But let me click
No,
this
you
on.
cool.
You were saying something?
No, I was saying the picture looked like it wasn't moving. Okay, go ahead. Now see it.
Okay, all right.
This is the Pookies and Ray Ray. This is their
The nature of this broadcast is to educate the listeners and subscribers about the misuse of terminology, stereotypes, and collateral matters against black men and other men of color coming from extreme racist radical groups, mainstream news media, and various sectors of black YouTube. A percentage of the materials used to create this documentary falls under the doctrine of fair use by United States federal laws, sections 106 and 106A of the Copyright Act.
People try to say that I'm no good because I'm a young black brother and I know that I should be legal and efficient in society, even though I know it's not designed for me. So I choose to represent in a positive state to revolutionize our youth before it's too late. I bust the knowledge for solutions to change and sustain the broken path of our brothers who claim quick fame in games of negativity to a degree of a dying generation of drugs in the streets. A lack of knowledge penetrates and minimizes your thoughts, alleviated self esteem because you were never taught to educate your minds in the system we live. Get your life on track or end up doing a bit. United we stand, divided we fail. Knowledge is king, but wisdom prevails. The first step to progress is to renew your minds. Hanging on the corner, smoking, drinking, wasting your time. Drinking 40 after 40, smoking blunt after blunt. Technology enhances while your brain is at lunch. Corporations merge right before your eyes. Another life is lost before you realize that you should seek the kingdom of heaven and righteousness for his name's sake. There's only one path to choose, one path to take. Eliminate the mythologies and ideologies and take heed to the message I display. Homeboys, there have to be a better way. Get knowledge.
As you know, people even in your circle use and abuse purposely, whether unaware, many stereotypical offensive terms out of vengeance and anger. According to this topic, I've seen this behavior with loaded side shots from black men who complain nonstop about lying and deceiving women from their past marriages and or relationships that failed and did not survive. The problem with this is that they are starting to use the same gaslighting and sign language tactics they are against to blame other men as their scapegoat arguments as well. This has become a normal thing. If you got a question and you want to pause it in between time, we could do that. That's no problem.
Okay.
Yeah. You got an echo.
Everybody's struggling. They going from check to check, and we going bundle to bundle. Period. To try to make it for real, for real. So it's not. I don't think like it's like the Pookie and the Ray Ray. It's just it's all of us still. We all still one. You know what I'm saying? We all reflection.
That's Oakland.
Yeah, that's Oakland.
So
Yeah,
do they have a big homeless camp in Oakland, or
yes, they do. It's bad. San Francisco and Oakland.
so is it bigger than LA, or about the same?
It's in between because most of these people are transplants. They send these people with a bus ticket and say, go to San Francisco. They rich, they got money. And they'll come out, this way, and they end up on the streets, and it's sad because that's what most of these states do. You if people from your state and they ain't doing nothing that's hurting the state, why can't you take some of the money from the homeless fund to fund some of these places so these people could, have a place to stay? And the thing is, half of these people are not on drugs. They just fell on bad luck and had to sleep in a tent, because out here, if you make $100,000, that's poverty. That's right at poverty.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna ask you. So what's going on right now as far as the I already know. I talked a lot about I talk about real estate a lot. Well, quite a bit. In Oakland is going through real deep levels of gentrification. So
right.
What's going on as far as like a lot of them people? I mean, I don't really know what the climate is. Are they able to keep their homes, or
either they sell it like an even swap type situation, or they just go ahead and get whatever they can get out of it, and then mainly the Asian people have bought up most of everything. So either these people, they be on the streets like you see right here, or they could move on the outskirts of San Francisco and Oakland.
So what is the demographics now of Oakland? Like, I mean, I've heard some stories. I've heard, white folks moving in and then calling the police on black people walking down the street, playing music. This was years ago. You know, this was probably even before the pandemic.
Yeah,
So what's
you see that everywhere, but I think that, you know, what they don't understand is they could buy up all the property, but half of these people are not going to leave the town. See, Oakland is mainly black.
yeah.
So, and they figure if they even just walking, you know, you got homeless people, you got mental health people, you know, it's a city. It's just like anywhere else, New York, Chicago, you know, people gonna be loud, you know, this is what they expected unless they just completely bought up everything around there and swap it out.
But
But
what is the demographics? Is it still like half black, or is it mostly still black? Or
mostly still black. But when you
okay,
cross the bridge, San Francisco is more on the Asian, white, and maybe Indian. It's a melting pot. We're still here. You know, the
uh,
projects in San Francisco are there still. They got some called Bernal Heights. They
mhm,
got Huntington Park, Huntington Point. They
mhm.
have Highland Park. You know, all those. You know, but they don't really look like projects.
But how? I mean, okay, they projects, but what's the rent to live in those projects? Like,
Between 2,500 and up.
e,
Yeah,
God,
to live in a
brother,
real luxury place.
brother,
See, I live in a
brother,
place called Diamond Heights. You can
brother.
look, you can look up Diamond Heights and you tell me
Okay,
what you think. After,
okay,
yeah,
okay. I'll try to take a mental note of that. Now, let me tell you something just to put that in perspective. Okay, projects, San Francisco, $2,500 a month. Is that a one bedroom or a studio,
it's a
or
matchbox, a room.
a room, just a
Yeah,
studio?
yeah.
Okay, $2,500, brother. Just to put it in context, will give you a nice luxury studio downtown Chicago. I mean, right now, or even just a modest one bedroom. And I'm talking about downtown Chicago in the Loop. Okay, like I mean that is wild. But I'm gonna play this some more. I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
want
but let
to.
me tell you, even in Atlanta, the project, the prices are the same. See, I get tired of people always saying, "Hey, man, you know, the California is high because the price is different." No, California is high for no fucking reason, and it ain't
Mm-hmm.
some of it ain't got nice places. Now, where I live at, that you know, I live nice. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not trying to brag. You know,
I
but
see you. This is my first time really seeing you because I think last year you just had a thumbnail, and I ain't really, what I'm saying, know what you look like and everything. But
oh man, you seen me, boy. You don't say plenty of pictures of me. You tripping? Go ahead.
but yeah, man, you definitely fly, man. You
Thank
a
you.
fly guy, you know.
And
But
that's the problem right now because I am educated, man. You know, and I'm different from a lot of guys in space. I tell these dudes, I say, look, man, I'm not here to shit on other guys because they come into these spaces so that they could, you know, become a little bit better. And I'm making a point right here at the part where you at, that the same people that they shit on are these homeless people that are listening to half of these people that their favorite podcasters on YouTube, and they've come from, and they're in the Black Manosphere. These people don't tell you that they're homeless, but they listen to these people because they want to get some encouragement so they can you know make their life a little bit better. They may get up in the morning and listen to whoever is on in the morning. You know what I'm saying, from their tent and
wow.
whatever money they make because they still work. They just live in a tent and they what they're doing.
Support some of these
Yeah.
content creators. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll look at it. Just go ahead, play it. You'll see.
Okay.
off of each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's like not Pookie and Ray Ray. It's us, the society, as black people. We gotta do better for each other, and that's what's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like these dirtbags will call me all the bitches and shit. I just walk to the store. These black men stuff. You feel what I'm saying? That's what's wrong with society. That the black man thinks it's okay to call a black woman a bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's what the fuck is wrong. Pookie and Ray Ray. No. And who you say I am? You supposed to be Pookie because Pookie. I want to say Pookie and who? Pookie and Ray
Pause
Ray.
it for a minute.
Pookie
Pause.
is the nigga that don't say shit. Oh, you scandalous. That don't.
It's moving pretty slow. It's something going on
Uh,
with you, man.
my connection is going in and out, but it looked like it's flowing from my end. I'm looking at the behind the scenes. It's flowing. I don't know, maybe it might have some lag, but I mean it's flowing. I ain't
Okay.
seen it. Yeah, it might be not going real time,
Yeah, I
but
think if you got an echo and you got YouTube, have you paused the YouTube?
no, no,
Not
I
paused, but it muted the YouTube like on one side.
yeah, I YouTube. I'm muted my mic. Yeah, I'm muted.
Okay,
Every,
okay. No,
yeah.
I ain't talking about your mic. I'm talking about the actual YouTube that's playing on the actual YouTube screen.
Oh, I have to play it in order to actually share. Like
No,
I
no, no.
have to.
What I'm saying is not get rid of it. I'm saying mute it at the top where the X is at the top. I mean not the X, but where the red thing at the tab at the top where it says YouTube. When you click on that, it'll silence it. That way we can hear through StreamYard.
I'm not understanding what you're saying, bro.
Okay. Go to the actual video.
I'm here now.
No, not there. No, I'm talking about at the actual YouTube. Your other the actual YouTube page.
I'm at the YouTube page right now. This is the YouTube page.
Oh, okay then. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it. Listen,
yeah.
it's just gone.
I don't have no maybe I don't have no advanced features because I
You
don't get
funny,
that
man.
much support. Yeah, I don't get that much support, so I ain't
We
got
gonna
no.
we gonna, we gonna work on that. We gonna work on that. You
Okay,
funny boy. Go
I
ahead.
dropped that shit. I mean, but yeah, that might have something to do with it.
Pookie the man don't have anything going on for herself. A piece of shit ass nigga, right?
He got a lot going for himself, and I got a lot going for myself.
That's what I just said.
We Pookie and Ray Ray.
That's what I just said.
So
I said
I'm Pookie, he Ray Ray. Come here, Ray Ray. Come here. So Ray Ray leaving, and I'm Pookie. So what? I'm gonna get it together.
The perfect perspective for me on the issue is this. What we have here is a behavioral issue, and there are a lot of people who may be jealous because they don't exhibit some type of behavior patterns.
What's keeping us behind or maybe pigeonholing us is these sacred cows. So it's time for us to slaughter these sacred cows, and I'm prepared to do so.
You have a lot of people in certain categories. You got the educated lame category, you got a Pookie category, you got a player category, you got a pimp, simp, and all these different categories.
Hey, let me read the definition again.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, like I was saying, I'm gonna repeat this again.
Yeah.
Even you do have black corporations, black companies. Okay, whether it be on the private level, you have some public black companies. It is very common for black people to work together and like say my company and I go big, right? I get some funding or I bootstrap my way to $1 million plus as far as revenue. I'm gonna hire people. I'm gonna hire people that are on the Pookie and Ray Ray side as well as educated lames, and we all gonna work together. And if of course if they don't work, they getting let go. But we all work together.
Yeah.
It's some guys that they might after work they might look like my man Perfect Timing, and then some guys after work they look they still got their glasses on and they pocket protect. I mean people have different talents and everybody has a certain level of genius, even quote unquote thug guys or street savvy guys you know, I don't, that ain't in my lingo. Pookie and Ray Ray, it ain't in my lingo.
Yeah,
I,
and that's the
I,
thing I tried to make them understand. You know, these guys online, they will constantly call people Pookie and Ray Ray, according to what they called me it too, because I like to dress urban, but they don't know I got 4 degrees. I'm just like them. I can wear a suit, but I'm not the educated black man who shits on other black men. And my thing is, I don't even like to use the word educated lame. I mean the phrase educated lame because I'm educated, but I'm not lame. You become lame when you start to shit on other black men.
see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And BGS Sipmore talked about that. He's from California. Okay. Um,
Yeah, I know.
because of our, okay, because of our culture, as far as it's not even the our culture has always really been an urban street kind of ghetto kind of culture to a certain extent. Because see, here's the thing: if you think our stats as far as like how much black people make, and as far as where we live and what we can afford and what neighborhoods we can afford to live, as far as an average or aggregate, 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, it was worse. We've always had financial struggles in this country, so we never really had a big, like, you know, white folks always had kind of like a separation class, to where they have a big separation from their lower class or whatever. Black folks ain't never in this country, as far as history, since they brought us over here and we even came over here, whatever, from Africa, whether it be the explorers to slaves. Because I mean, I ain't gonna go in the rabbit in the weeds, as far as, you know, it is black people that came over here before Columbus and stuff like that. But the thing is that we never in mass had what white folks had, or even Asians, to where we have this like big concentrated wealth class or elite class. Our elite class is very always been small. Now it has grown over I guess the period of, I would say, 20 years, but it is still, even to this day, minute. So most of us have, like I say, I call it humble beginnings. Most of all my friends from high school, grammar school, we all have the same storyline. We have the same areas that we came from. Where I came from, where I was living, my mother and my father, where I was living around the projects, a lot of my peers, we all moved, they call it moving down the line or moving on up.
Yeah.
We all had that same baseline, to where we came from the low end. A lot of us came from the low end. Then we moved to like the far south side, like 79th Street, 91st Street, 95th Street, the hundreds, and then we moved, and then we made our way to the suburbs.
Yeah, and that's the way it normally do. I mean, that's the way we normally do as black folks. For those who want to go places, then again, you have people who've been there. Salute Alonzo Hall. Yeah, Alonzo was in one of the documentaries too, bro.
If you want to join, the link is still in the chat. But yeah, man, bro, most of my peers, like, we all have concentrated areas where we were at, and then we moved up. Because what I was finna say is that in the 80s, Chicago has been one of the most, and still to this day, one of the most segregated cities in America. White folks would not allow black folks to move in the suburbs until the 80s. They were forced to, because the federal government had to put pressure on Chicago to basically make it where you can get a mortgage. It becomes unlawful to deny black people mortgages, and also to not sell them property became a crime, became a federal.
And even today, for some reason, man, it's just a whole lot that's been going on. Even people who got money, even nearly 800 credit score, a perfect credit, they and they even the banks they've been with like for 30 years won't give them loans.
Yeah, it's like the thing. What I'm saying is like, even if you had the money, you couldn't even move to certain areas in the Chicagoland area until they broke through in the 80s. That's what that
Yeah, I
so
know.
that's why black folks, all of my peers, like I say, we all had the same kind of like um baseline of where we came from. We like I say, we lived in what is now Bronzeville. We moved our way up because I started to notice that when my friend, I started asking, I was like, "What? So you lived on 40th too?" And they like, "Yeah." One of my best friends, he went to the same grammar school I went to, and I didn't even know him. I probably seen him, but didn't even meet him until like really get to know him until I got older. He moved to the suburbs with me, and it's like, I mean, because once they opened the gates of the suburbs up, and they allowed a lot of people to get loans and stuff, the floodgates open, and then the white folks start leaving, but it's like, yeah, we all have very similar origin stories of where we sprung from.
Yeah, and then like even in Atlanta, they did start leaving and moving out of town, and then or either they move in the mountains or far away in the woods as far as they can away from black folks. But now that we're back to we're in a new age of technology, white folks have bought up a lot of places that black folks used to live, like in downtown area, inner city, all that. Guess what? They moving back in town.
Yeah, yeah.
And building new stuff. Yeah, let's go ahead and finish this part right here.
Okay.
That we
Okay.
like after each segment, we could probably
Okay.
Go ahead.
I want to read the definition again. I got the full definition. It says sacred cow, meaning it says something that people do not like to question, a taboo subject. For an example, the judiciary remains a sacred cow despite increasing evidence that serious mistakes have been made. We're not talking about a person. We're talking about a behavior.
It's about the steps you make every day, good, bad, and indifferent. Are you able to correct your footing? I mean, do you stand your ground even when it's not popular? Because there's going to be some leadership decisions that's going to call you to make an unpopular decision. But are you masculine enough to take the consequences that come with it? Can you own the leadership properties that build in you? And there's 4 P's that we come with natural: provision, protection, problem solving, procreation.
And that's that's really what it is. It's a lot of dudes around here who's getting caught up in becoming zealots and starting to worship these dudes like demigods instead of actually taking what's being said and applying it. And that's because guys are propping themselves up and doing what they do for purposes of money. So that's really what it is. And that's what my whole, when you see me doing these series, that's what it's all about. It's for me to let brothers know what we're currently dealing with.
Also, from the perfect perspective, we're not talking about something negative and we're not talking about something wrong. We're just talking about characteristics and qualities. Certain individuals have these characteristics and qualities, certain individuals don't. Get us back on focus on 5.0, because 5.0 is men elevating men. We are done with those other 0.0s. We have reached a new precipice in this sphere. It's men elevating men. So every time I'm on a panel and people say this is what it should have been, this is what I throw it out there. That's what 5.0 is. That's why I created it. That's why I brought it back to the essence. Men elevating men. I accept you no matter what level of life you happen to be on. There is no pimp. There is no simp. There is no alpha. We're all brothers. Those of us at higher levels create soft landings for those of us at lower levels. There's no judgment.
You want to stop there for a minute?
We've become so self-sabotaging where hate is in our body language. It's to the point where we're no longer...
Yeah. You got something to say?
What's going on, Lonzo? I just want to say what's up to bro?
Oh,
Yeah,
what's
what's
happening, brother? I
Oh,
see we catching up on your just the other documentary you dropped for us.
yeah, this is called the Pookies and the Ray Rays. It's their place for us, part one. This was just
Okay.
dropped 2 days ago, and I just saw Bro Genius over here, and I wanted to come over and hang out with him a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
man. I mean, it's perfect timing, man. The thing that I mean, I just had the reason why I said what I said as far as, if you everything is context. So a lot of what people don't say. 'Cause see, I break down the history and I bring it back to, you know, you know, I, class and culture as well as you know, the different classes in America. Black folks always had the lower end of the spectrum in the financial pie, so we weren't able to really separate like white folks was able to separate from their lower class or the other groups, right? So we had a lot of culture as far as from the hood or hood culture or ghetto culture, because that's where we sprung from mostly. Even if you go talk to the elites, the black elites, which I don't, I have some of my subscribers that they that's where they sprung from, but their generation before them, their parents, most likely where they come from is from humble beginnings. Or even if you talk to some black elites, they themselves came from humble beginnings. So they got a little hood in them. It's almost escapable what I'm saying to have certain elements because that's part of our struggle. Being around these the streets and being around these people we went to school with, we identified at one time these are friends, our peers. So it's like that's why I didn't really get into that or subscribe to
Because
that
we
whole
all
thing.
know somebody. We all know somebody that we grew up with. We people may have seen me and say, "Oh," when they see me in suit and tie, "Oh, I know him, man.
Mm.
He went to school." But if they see
Mhm.
Alonzo, they probably say, "Oh man, I know him. He was from round the way." But we're the type of guys that we're not shitting on other men because of who they are. They are who they are, and we wish them the best. And I've always stated on most of the panels, I always say, we all have choices, but we don't have the same opportunities, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, because
Right.
see, one of the things that I put a post up on my Facebook page of some guys that was in the Chicago mob, the Black Chicago mob, and that post it went skyrocketed. I just put a picture with a little context that got over 170 reaches. And the reason why is that was before street gangs. That was what you had in Bronzeville where I sprung from.
BGF.
It moved to the suburbs of Chicago because see, here's the thing: those guys dressed in suits and they were smart brothers. They used what they had. It was at that time. This was like the 1920s and 30s. It was almost to be an elite. It was almost unheard of. And those guys, they had the money a lot of times to fund the newspapers, to fund other businessmen. And, they were sending money back to Tulsa, Oklahoma. I mean, we always had a certain they were called ruffians in the Bible. Guys that ain't afraid to get dirty, down and dirty when they had to.
Mm.
Uh, a ruffian is something that somebody that, like I say, is a guy that get down and dirty, no problem sweating, kind of look rough, and when it come to the tussle and bustle, he ain't got no problems with it, and it's like to look down on people like that, like is to say like we all smooth and we all of us are making over $100,000 a year, and we all got mansions with a pool in a Dodge Charger in the driveway or a Hellcat. That's not our reality. That's not that's fantasy, you know.
Mm.
But I'm gonna digress and continue on with this brother's documentary.
Well, real quick before you
chop each other down. It's in our
keep going, I just wanted to speak to what you were saying about, because I was actually, ironically enough, having this conversation with my mother today about with black families and growing up with or without money, right? And another part of the reason that we end up growing up without money is because the rest of the family, once you make $100,000 in a black family, they think you rich, and they don't know that $100,000 is just the precipice of being broke, like, right? That's just where you find out that $100,000 ain't no money, and that
You
you're
know what?
still broke.
That's exactly what I was telling, Broke a little bit earlier before we start the video, that, out here, that's, right at poverty level, below poverty level,
Yeah,
100.
above 50 is just above poverty level for a single person.
Yeah, you're right. I reached it. And, I don't never tell my salary, but I reached it to 176.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. Because most of it is you going to spend it in rent.
Yeah, and other shit as well. But then we was one thing my mother said that was funny to me. She was like, I used to love when you, I loved when you hit puberty, because man, shit was crazy. You used to stay, in designer brands, and she would have me in like Brooks Brothers and what is it, Como de Garçon and all this other crazy stuff in the '80s. And she said when I hit puberty and started in middle school, I wanted to be cool with the kids in the schools that I went to. And the kids in the school that I went to, they wore the same things I wore. Like Tommy Hilfiger was popular at the time. But she was like, instead of going out to the stores and buying the real stuff, you had your heart dead set on going to the flea market and getting everything that your friends had got. So you wanted to walk around with Tommy Hilfiger on instead of wearing Tommy Hilfiger. And it cost me a whole lot less money for you to wear Tommy Hilfiger, which wasn't even real. But I
But you
was
know what?
one of
All the replicas in New York, you won't never know the difference.
Yeah, Quasi. My sister, I used to have the same problem that Alonzo had. I never forget my sister put me up on game. She knew the knockoffs from the real shit. She told me my freshman year I used to dress with the same knockoff stuff. I used to go to the flea markets, and I used to go to the they had these little hood stores, and she put me up on game. She's like, let me tell you, that Jabot, all that stuff you wearing, all them Jabots and them Guess jeans, and mama take us to them little hood stores, all that shit fake. She say, you gotta go to the department stores. Before it was Macy's, it was Marshall Fields. So you
Yeah.
go to Marshall Fields, you go to TJ Maxx and Marshalls and get your clothes, and it ain't knockoffs. And then ever since then, my sophomore year, that was my first year that I actually understood fashion. I understood the real clothes versus the fake shit. And then that was the year motherfuckers could say nothing to me. They
But
couldn't
let,
run
but let me explain something to you, though. Real talk. Most of the things that you see that they call knockoffs, that fabric come directly from the factories where they make the original stuff. It's just somebody else making it. It's the same thing like if you buy Vienna sausages, that's the name brand in Walmart. That's the same shit. They just use Great Value name on it. You get what I'm saying? Like me, I have Louis Vuitton and Gucci fabric that came directly from the Gucci fabric that came directly from the fabric, the scraps and leftovers they sent to the college, the fashion school, and they give it to us to make stuff out of. and some of it also came from Dapper Dan in New York. So it doesn't mean that just because somebody else is making it, that is fake, because the print and all that come directly from the factory.
Well, these guys, these little flea markets and swaps and shit, they were like basically getting knockoffs
Oh,
from.
this was iron on shit half the
Yeah,
time.
there was
Oh, okay.
legitimate.
And patches,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
This is iron
So
on in patches.
Oh,
yes, yeah. Like I mean, so it's like she put me up on game. My younger sister, my middle sister, and that was my first year I understood fashion, and nobody could rag on me anymore. You know, I knew what to wear, I knew where to buy it. You know, I even knew where to steal it if I couldn't afford it. You know, but yeah, that was back when I was a teenager, man. I you know, but yeah, man, my sister, man, she
That's
actually
what's up.
she actually hooked me up as far as she told me what to, you know, what was fugazi and what was not, and I, you know, you know, I gotta call her up and thank my little sister, just because I probably didn't tell her, you know what I'm saying. I might go buy a little something, man, just to, you know, her
but
birthday coming up.
even now, y'all, what y'all got to know about fashion. They even now have a category called the knockoffs, and they have them in
Oh, yeah.
fashion shows. Yeah, oh yeah, at the streetwear knockoffs. They don't look no different, and that's a category that they have right now on the runway, menswear.
Well, damn.
Yeah, and guess what? They sell them in different places. You know, in Vegas, they sell them at
What?
stores. There's a documentary called Slobby's World. A
Okay,
white dude that have some of the exclusives in his shops. You know, resale stuff. Some of it
Mm,
knockoff, some of it is not, and you don't know which one is which.
but
damn.
this is all relative to the thumbnail, because the thumbnail I say, you know, forget Sierra's prayer. What was ASAP Rocky's prayer?
That's funny.
Word.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
you know what? That and right quick, I want to go back to earlier in the documentary, when Perfect Timing was speaking about men building men, and agency. And that's one of the things I can say I've witnessed myself, and I've seen other people do it to, other scales, in the space. But I can see myself, I've hooked up with a few of the gentlemen in the space, behind the scenes, in terms of what I can offer them, and in terms of shit, some that they've offered me. And we've actually had some fruitful connections and been able to help people out. So that's been kind of cool. And I'm appreciative of it. And shit's so real. Perfect even went to my website and left a damn review and gave me 5 stars on Google.
You know what? And let me do that too, Alonzo. You know, and that's why this is before I even started my channel, nobody knew what I was going to do, because nobody knew that I did this here. I kept it quiet. I never said anything, but I listened to people. I listened to my day ones, and I listened to the people that I know for a fact that has something to say. You know, brothers that weren't coming up on the panels just rambling at the mouth. Lonzo was one of them. And I said, yo, man, I would love for you to be, you know, in the next documentary to talk about this from the economical dollar standpoint of Asian hate, and why we fail so much as a black community and not sticking together to get bills and different things passed for us. And I listened to everything he said and try to put it together as close as to what he's saying as possible. And I think I did a pretty good job.
Oh, you killed it, bro. I loved it. That shit was awesome, brother.
I appreciate it.
Like,
Yeah.
I was honored to be in there, and like the way that you put your things together, like even this one, yo, bro. I don't know if you know who Green Gorilla is or Keeping It 100, but he wanted to do a documentary for the space, and he was trying to raise 50 grand to get it done, but it didn't happen. But
Yeah, I know.
I
I
think
know
y'all.
Green Gorilla know who I am. I met him
Okay.
over at Charles. Yeah, I look. I know just about everybody out here.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So
but
yeah, man. But y'all should definitely hook up.
yeah, I would talk to him, man. But the thing is, when you got people doing their own thing,
Yeah.
one thing I learned, because you got some very ignorant brothers in the space, they don't think of content uh, uh, they don't think of them being in a documentary to promote their channel. They looking at it as when, oh, Kwafi Nino is looking to build himself up. No, because guess what? Each one of these motherfuckers cost me $3,800 to do it. Trust me. You know,
Yeah,
and
it's not true. You can see the quality.
yeah, yep. Hey, bro, go back just a little bit where I was talking after perfect, just a little bit. What my hand was on the thing. No. Yeah,
Like right
yeah,
here.
right. Yeah. Well, a little bit, but yeah. There you go. Yeah, right there. Start right
Essence. Men elevating men, I accept you no matter what level of life you happen to be on. There is no pimp. There is no simp. There is no alpha. We're all brothers. Those of us at higher levels create soft landings for those of us at lower levels. There's no judgment.
As black men, we've become so self-sabotaging where hate is in our body language. It's to the point where we're no longer needing words to chop each other down. It's in our actions that shows jealousy and hate.
This is Sunclaw part.
Pookie is not the causation of the situation, but is only a symptom of a problem. Pookie did not take her from you. Pookie did not do you wrong. He did you a favor. You say to yourself, that's not true. He took something from me. He took something good from me. But ask yourself something. If she was so good and virtuous, why did she treat you that way? Did Pookie take her? Or did she leave of her own accord? And if she left...
Oh, that's too deep. Who is that brother? Who is that? Who is that?
That's Sunclaw.
He's a poet?
He's a storyteller.
Oh, okay.
An inspirational speaker. He's just a panel person. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's deep, though. I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, I mean, you know, I used to, quote unquote, thugs. Where I'm from, we call them thugs. We ain't call them no Pookie and Ray Ray. This is some internet shit. The internet that's where I first heard the whole Pookie and Ray Ray shit. The thing is that I used to like women in high school that liked the thugs and shit, the gangbangers. But this dude, I mean, what he's saying is real. They did me a favor because I mean, the outcomes from those relationships was struggle, man. Them guys had to, after they transitioned from, they got locked up a couple times from selling the drugs, because they had to have that lifestyle to impress them women. Then they got locked up, and then they eventually had to move on because they realized that this woman, she wanted me because I had the money from the things that I done, and she was really superficial and shallow, and they might have had a baby or two, and then they got child support obligations, and they just working a job, they janitor or whatever, working in a warehouse. And yeah, man, this dude is dropping. It's real simple. Big.
Look, go back just a little bit. That way you can hear it from the beginning. For some reason, I don't know why it was lagging on your behalf. Yeah, there it is.
Pookie is not the causation of the situation, but is only a symptom of a problem. Pookie did not take her from you. Pookie did not do you wrong. He did you a favor. You say to yourself, that's not true. He took something from me. He took something good from me. But ask yourself something. If she was so good and virtuous, why did she treat you that way? Did Pookie take her? Or did she leave of her own accord? And if she left, was it because of Pookie? Or because she wanted to leave? And if it wasn't this Pookie, would it have been another Pookie? In that case, whether that Pookie existed or not, another Pookie would have came and took her. Could she have ever been happy? Like I said earlier, Pookie is not the causation of the situation, but is simply a symptom of a problem. Intergenerational trauma and sexual imprinting can have long-lasting effects on us. It can influence how we behave in relationships, and it can affect who we choose to be in relationships with. If we grew up in a dysfunctional environment, we're more likely to be in dysfunctional relationships, and we're more likely to choose dysfunctional partners to be in those dysfunctional relationships. Pookie is not the causation of the situation, but is only a symptom of a problem. Your picker is broken. If you have ever been with a woman or more than one woman who left you for a Pookie, realize something. There's a common denominator in this equation, and it is you. Something made you pick these women, but there is something wrong with these women. There's nothing wrong with Pookie. Pookie is just being him, but these women are attracted to what you call dysfunction. And the problem is, you're attracted to women who are attracted to dysfunction. And yet, you cannot give them what they want, what they need, which is dysfunction, which is the reason that they leave you for Pookie, because they hunger for that dysfunction. Then you're starving.
You're gonna make it out of here.
Man, if I could drop a bomb, I would.
You know, I'm singing on that part.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
One of these days, you're gonna make it out of here. Let your light shine bright and true. Then you'll find what's unique about you.
I have something that's been bothering me about certain areas of the manosphere. And it might seem odd. Appearance. Griping about the appearance of women. This woman is too fat, she's too ugly, she's too this, she's too that, she's too the other. And very, very rarely, I'm not saying that I never have, I'm just saying that it's very rare, is the first thing that dudes are talking about, the personality and the attitude. So that says to me that as long as the woman has a good appearance, they're willing to take whatever personality or attitude comes their way, as long as she's fine enough. That's the fact. And if a dude is operating in that fashion, he deserves whatever the fuck he gets, because he's putting himself in certain positions that he knows he shouldn't be putting himself in because it's a pretty face. But if it wasn't a pretty face, he would find the behavior and the attitude completely and utterly unacceptable.
Since late year 2017 to the end of December 2021, with the various men-only male spaces panels I frequented, there were echo chambers of non-progressive progressive trauma bonds of red pill versus blue pill, unhealthy debates and discussions coming from the divided Black YouTube content creator spaces and those who consider themselves a part of the Black manosphere. Though some complaints were valid, a few content creators are feuding and trolling one another, which derail the purpose, mission, and privilege of being a Black content creator and are those of the brotherhood and support of Black men and Black boys.
Here is what I realized. In today's world, too many people don't understand just because you talk to somebody does not mean you are affiliated and believe what that other person fully believes. And the problem in society is that's why we cannot move forward, because we don't give other people the ability to cross picket fences and to talk to those who are different from them. And I see so many people in this mindset, which is why people live in echo chambers on the right and on the left and all kinds of other spectrums as well. We live in echo chambers. And the reason why we live in echo chambers is because we're unable to interact with those who are different from us. So I need you guys to understand, we like talking to people who are different from us. We like talking to people we don't agree with everything that they say, because that is how humans should interact and discuss. Nothing wrong with having a little bit of fun, and cracking a joke here and there, but being rude, it is not tolerated. So moderators, please make sure these individuals understand the rules or they get removed.
Being here in the manosphere was supposed to teach me a lot about female nature, and honestly, I end up learning more about men's nature. You know, how we act and how we respond to it. You know, the game was never about women; it was about yourself. It was about learning about yourself. So that's why the things that I'm talking about are things that can't be overlooked, because we're talking to a lot of men that needs to learn about themselves. I still need to learn about myself. You understand what I'm saying? Especially in other areas of life. In certain areas of life, I haven't figured out. There's always a quest for you as a man. And the thing about the dating game and just, these terms, educated lames and Pookies and Ray Rays, is that we're in a arena where women are actually exposing guys for who they really are, because the internet has produced such an abundance of women in their promiscuous forms. And that's why you have a lot of good guys chasing women that are promiscuous, that are indeed hoes for show.
I knew you was gonna stop it on that part.
Bomb drop. Man, my boy DJ Cuda, man. Hey, that what he just said, man. A lot of what guys want, as far as they might see on TV, and they want, that dime, the 9, 7, 8. Them women, man, after they get, a certain level of success, like what this is what you were talking about, right? This as far as like what I was saying, what I was leading with that woman that was on Instagram, you know what I'm saying, like that woman, just to put in context again, that I led with in the intro, nice looking woman, 92 octane, looked like she was very highly intelligent. She checked all the boxes. I'm not saying that she was promiscuous, but she checked all of the boxes as far as her husband, who she picked, and she still divorced the man because she couldn't get her hairstyle that she wanted without any complaints from her husband, and she couldn't go to places without her husband's permission, and just the most fragile, just shallow reasons is why she divorced her husband. And a lot of times those guys, get those type of shallow women, and then that's the light end of the spectrum, or the left end of the spectrum. The right is the extreme end of the spectrum of women that they choose. Like myself, you choose these women that they've monkey branched and they've been with a lot of different men. They don't tell you all of the sexual experiences they've been with, and they got desensitized to actually being with different men. So when they get with you, after a while, you nothing to them, because they desensitized to going from guy to guy to guy, and you just one guy of many, and then now you're heartbroken, and you invested in this woman, and to you become, in the words of Platinum Elite, bitch broke, because you don't put a lot of your money up towards either getting a place for you and her, getting a house, now you going through a divorce and court.
And that's the point. And that's the point, that a lot of these guys that he's talking about, DJ Kuda's talking about right here, is that most of them, that's the real issue right there that you're speaking of. But on the internet, they will blame Pookie. If they can't blame, if it don't work out with the woman, they'll continue to blame Pookie, or either the nearest dude that looked like Pookie on the internet, for his failures and problems.
Yeah, that ain't oh, go ahead, Alonzo.
No, I was just saying I seen that.
Yeah, it's never it's never you. Like, I had to own my choice when as far as my first wife, I had to earn that all of everything that I got, because basically you supposed to choose your contemporary. In the Bible it say equally yoked. I'm educated, intelligent, well disciplined, uh, emotionally checked male. That's who I should have chose as my contemporary. I love my daughters. I love the outcome that came from my marriage. I don't want anything to change, but moving further, I had to be honest with myself and understand that I need to choose someone that is as far as I can tell, someone as close to me as intelligence, close to me as her mannerisms, being able to be, compatible, and then also most importantly, able to listen and follow my direction. If I have to go overseas to get that woman, so be it. It ain't nothing that I haven't already made preparations for,
And you
years
know what?
ago.
And in part two, bro, we're gonna be talking about that. But we're
Yeah,
gonna
I want to be in that discussion. I want a video, and I want to talk about my story.
Okay, perfect. If you want to be in part two, you can be in part two.
Yeah, because see, that's if you do that, that's actually effective, because I'm gonna tell you, that's where the conversation is going. A lot of millennials, even Z's, they're coming to the understanding now that they're having more fun going traveling and enjoying them women, and then coming back over here just to live.
You know what? That's fine too, but we want to go and start doing it the proper way, because too often you got many of these content creators that are giving these boys, well, I ain't gonna say younger adult men, and even late blooming older men, they're giving them the wrong information. You don't just get up and go to another country and decide that, hey, I'm gonna go find a woman, or I'm gonna go trick off. What they don't understand is that you go on unfamiliar territory. Do your research first.
No,
Go in and shake those men's hands that live over there, because you might not come back.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of them are doing. But I'll tell you my story. that ain't what I was trying to do. I already had a Ethiopian wife that I was gonna marry. But I had problems getting my passport, and yeah, I was already years ago, like almost a decade ago, already I'd already given up on American women, you know, because of the problems that I was having. But to be honest, I will say 10 years ago, a lot of things were, I didn't know a lot. What I know now, I'm not gonna say that it magically makes all the women in America better, but I do understand that it's a lot of things that I have to work on as a man as well. It's not a
And that's
past.
what we
Yeah,
and that's
it's
the root. That's what the root of the problem is. Like what we read at the beginning of the document. That's what we're working on now. See,
yeah,
right here,
yeah.
because yeah,
That passport ain't no magic ticket that's gonna justify or make everything as far as my indiscrepancies in life better. You know, I still have to have some type of foundation or base for me to bring a wife back here, or if I go somewhere else, whatever. I'm not saying that that's part of an option that I have that any other man has as well. But I ain't necessarily giving up in America either. I mean, to be honest, I'm too invested in America now. I have children. You know, I can't just necessarily justify me upping and leaving permanently and leaving my children behind, you know, in America, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I mean, I digress. Let me,
I mean,
yeah, go
in
ahead.
that instance, I'm actually working on a plan with a gentleman from the space, who has a passport plan, but he's also in a position, annual income of over 100K. You know what I mean? And he's setting up stuff so that in 10 years, he'll be able to, go to a particular country. We've already started looking at real estate, and we've already put away over $500,000 to start funding this process, right? So, like you said, you can't just go over there and trick off. You got to be, put yourself in a position to go overseas. We'll say to, Cuba, uh, and buy a villa there or whatever, and then live there, or have enough money to bring someone back. We learned about men in this space. Kevin Samuels would always ask the women, do you have $2.4 million for retirement? But then what are the men thinking about? Well, yeah, she better have her $2.4 million because winter's coming, but do we have our $2.4 million?
Right, exactly. But you got brothers also that they do have money, but they getting women that are unappreciative and shallow, and pretentious, like the women I talked to that I led this discussion off with earlier. So a lot of, and it kind of goes into, I did mention the fact that a lot of women in this country are spoiled, because let's just face it, we have a relatively safe country. It's no invasion. It's you have crime that's local and national, but relatively you got everything you got an abundance of like everything at your feet. You can, it's so easy now. You have these air fryers, you have, meal kits now. You don't even have to really know how to cook. It's really, I used to work at HelloFresh for a hot second. They give you the actual meals with the directions on how to cook it. I mean,
Damn.
so all you have to do is just follow the directions, and you can have a meal cooked within 30 minutes. So I mean, all of this ease of technology and stuff like that is just so easy now that these women are just very, very much spoiled. And I mean, it's hard to deal with. You know what I'm saying? They
Oh yeah.
have a lot of problems. I'm at the point now that I'm trying to actually, Kevin Samuels actually was doing this behind the scenes. He was actually coaching these women on how to be better women, how to be more suitable, so they could get husbands and better mates. You know what I'm saying? Because that's at the point. That's the point where I'm at now, because these women need help. They are freaking thirsty, and it's a different layer of thirst. Like, it's not so much like guys, we be thirsty to have sex. Women be thirsty to get, companions. They want companions that's gonna stay with them after the sex. So you got different layers of thirst. You know what I'm saying?
You
And
know
they,
what though? I think also what, like you mentioned with the vetting process, right? The type of women, because women are spoiled. There's a lot of factors into that. One is the fathers that are there are spoiling our daughters, right? Because like for example, with my wife's dad, he was like, "Yo, listen, I raised my sons one way, but I taught my daughters to not need a man for nothing but one thing." And I get it, but then that creates what we have today, right? Because old girl is now wearing Chanel earrings, right? So now her expectation is, and for the black community, this is why it's bad,
And
because
you
now
know
her
what?
expectation.
And you know what? She ended it. This was her first introduction to dating Diddy. Because she Diddy now. One of the city girls, they Diddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who she is.
Yeah, the city girls, they are like Salt and Pepper or Latrim. Like, you remember Latrim back in the day? They made a song called "Grab It." It was a
Okay.
replica of "Push It" by Salt and Pepper. So these girls are from Florida, and they
Yeah,
somewhat like that. They did "I'll Take Your Man," a remix of
Wow.
yeah, of
yeah,
Salt and Pepper.
yeah, but yeah, to basically counter what you were saying, you kind of read my mind, because a lot of people don't know I made a little crumbs off of Kevin Samuels. So on my blog, brokegeniuses.com, I have a high value, I mean, actually not a high value, but a S&V report. Do you know I can actually show, but I wouldn't do it because of confidentiality. But I had quite a few women of all races and classes and even sexuality buy my S&V report, because they wanted to actually know where they stood as far as in the date market, as well as I gave them a little bit of advice. I actually made a little crumbs off of Kevin Samuels with the S&V report. And the thing is that when it comes down to it, one thing I told, because I had everything as far as the boxes checked. Did they come from a household where they had their mother or their father, or just their mother, or just their father? And for the women that had their fathers, I gave them an advice. You should talk to your father to help you as far as vet men. A lot of where women drop the ball as far as them choosing terrible mates, like your wife did great, right? Because she had her father involved, right? That's where
Yeah.
these women drop the ball. I mean, I'm talking about they jump off the cliff and they don't involve their father or a brother or an uncle, because in Islamic, as far as customs, you have to choose either your brother or your uncle or your father as basically someone to chaperone you into marriage with the man. and that's customary, right? So it's the same thing. Christians used to do the same thing. I mean, the father really was the end all be all of who you was gonna choose as your husband. We just digressed, from basically away from that, as well as the problems with the whole father not being in the household stuff. But the thing is that I told these women, you not using the asset that is one of your biggest assets as far as why you having problems with men. Your father gonna tell you who gonna be the best man, because he was a man at one time and he knows what is a good man. If he was any good of a father, he's gonna tell you, okay, yeah, I like this guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't like this guy. And if you choose wrong, a lot of them women that chose wrong, they go, they hit the wall hard. By the time they in their 40s and 50s, my daddy, they start crying at their daddy's funeral, and then that's late, but they say, yeah, my daddy was so right. Man, my daddy was so right. Why didn't I listen to my daddy? And it's like, yeah, man, your dad, for a woman, when she get older, her father becomes her biggest asset. That they just basically drop the ball and don't invest, and don't use that asset to their favor. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just had to put that into perspective.
No, I definitely understand that. But again, that goes to even things like the vetting process, even if we bring fashion into it again, right? Ironically enough, she's wearing Chanel earrings, and Chanel is one of my mother's favorite brands. Or like the other woman possibly maybe wearing Tiffany pearls, right? But the thing is, when you're looking and vetting these women, you got to know the difference between a woman who shops for designer brand and brand quality, right? So, for example, Chanel earrings or Tiffany pearls, those are things that you want to get Chanel for. But to have a Coco de Chanel watch, well, that's a fashion watch, and Chanel isn't known for making watches, so it's probably not going to be quality. But if you have a Cartier, yeah, it might just have a leather strap, but that's probably 10 times as expensive as that thing with all those plastic diamonds, right? So someone who is of like my mother. Say again?
No, son, that's so true.
Man. So, like, my mother was ironically enough talking about my wife today, and she was like, yeah, what sorority is she in? And I was like, no, she's not a soror. She was like, oh, your wife strikes me as an AKA. I was like, no, she doesn't fit the bill of an AKA for specific reasons. But I understand why she would be considered to be a sorority girl.
My Thunderbolt was an AKA, and to this day, man, I got a thing for AKAs, man, and man, that's why like I settled as far as my last fraternity that I ever wanted to join, and it's primarily because of my cousin too. It was being an alpha, man. I mean,
well, you got an alpha man right here on the panel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
Listen, I'm gonna put a spot on both your shoulders. How about that?
Man, hey, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, are we gonna go back to this a little bit, or?
Oh yeah. I'm just, we just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just listening to y'all, man.
I was listening.
Let me hit
I ran off on the tangent. My bad.
Nah, y'all good.
The problem with it is that a lot of brothers that call themselves educated lames, they don't believe in themselves, not the way that they should, and they don't believe in themselves in this area of life, when life is showing them that yes, you can be successful, and yes, in other areas of life you can excel, and they want to leave it up to their money. They want to leave it up to their bankroll, and money can get you in places. It doesn't keep you there, and if it does keep you there, you're only there because of that. The reason why a lot of educated lames hate on guys that they would like to refer to as Pookie is because he has something that the educated lame wants. And it usually starts off with the woman. The educated lame wants the woman. You got educated lames that believe that they offer more than a Pookie and a Ray Ray.
He is right in many regards, but where it goes a little bit deeper, it's not so much the Pookies and the Ray Rays. Like, for example, I'm a money man. Alonzo is definitely a money man, and I'm definitely a fashion guy as well. I love shitting on motherfuckers when I give me some clothes and ain't nobody outfit, ain't nobody I know ain't got. My fashion is impeccable. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I mean, I learned from my sisters. I learned from even Kevin Samuels, man. I'm a late learner, but the thing is that when it come down to it, it's not so much. I mean, as far I'll speak on myself, it's not the Pookie and the Ray Rays that I look at that I be jealous of, as far as or that get the women that I want. The guys that get the women that I be wanting, it be the guys that are maybe jocks and maybe players to a certain extent. They not necessarily, they might have had some Pookie and Ray Ray tendencies when they were younger, but they like educated 92 octane, 89 octane males that get a lot of nice high tier women. They might have the better type of lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I ain't necessarily even jealous of them, but I see them like these are my friends. I see them with nice women. They always been with nice women. Big, fat badonkadonks, breasts, everything, nice face. But it's not necessarily quote unquote Pookie and Ray Rays. These guys were ex jocks, ex college guys, fraternity guys. You know what I'm
Yeah, but
saying?
and that's what I was explaining. You can still be a guy that can get women and be that way as well. But you got a lot of these guys that are in the space. I don't like to use the term educated lame. Like me, like I said before, I'm educated, but guess what? I'm not lame. See, you become lame when you start to blame other men for your downfall.
Yeah, I
You
don't
know what
blame.
I think about that though? Here's one thing that I see. Um, and I wouldn't change it now, but one thing that I realize in the imagery, and we've all fallen victim to it now, you'll subtly see it too. But the image of the Pookie or the Ray Ray is always the apex gangbanger, superiorly muscular, tall physique like a jock, right? But if you look at a lot of these Pookie Ray Ray roaches, right? A lot of these dudes are short in stature, schmegler degler, couldn't succeed in the real, they can't keep a job because they can't, they can't keep cognitive skills. They just are cute, or they have a certain swag and they wear their, a band-aid on their face like Nelly, or you know what I mean, and it's something.
Or it could be just, pure, just he done fucking ejaculated all in her mind, really good sex and nothing else to
Yeah,
offer. So yeah. So the thing is, it's just that it's certain women. I mean, certain. It's that thing, that one thing that they may want. I guess we all just got that. It's different, but you got to know
yeah.
who you are as a man, and that's what DJ Kuda is talking about right here. And we talking about the select and non-select too in here as well. When we get to it, you'll see.
And it's like, okay, well, the girl that I want, she should be able to see that. She should be able to notice that. She should be able to recognize that. And when they don't recognize that, that's what happens. You understand what I'm saying? That's what happens. She gets defaulted over to him. Instead of the guy saying, yo, you know what I'm saying? This might not be the type of woman for me. She may be slow or not know how to choose right, which should, if you guys have standards, it should be a part of your standards that your girl knows what's good for her. A lot of guys here want to believe that they're educated lames because it's the perception of, hey, I'm a good guy. Somebody did me wrong. You know, somebody.
I mean, one thing I gotta say again, he is right as far as a lot of what these guys, as far as the ELs, right? They they do have a kind of a self-esteem issue or not believing in themselves issue or a confidence issue. That's one of the things that I'm gonna be honest. I have to say, even myself, I have to sometimes remind me how bad of a motherfucker I am, how much of a king I am, you know, because I might have a bad week or a bad month, or I might be going through something, you know what I'm saying? And you know, it's like when I'm at my apex, I mean, you know, to be honest, most of the women they don't have no chance because I'm after a particular type of woman. Now, when I get around those women, do I have that same type of confidence? Nah, I ain't gonna cap. I do have some I guess some holes in my my armor or whatever, or my confidence. And you know that that's why I listen to the brother, man.
And it takes a very, very real type brother to say that, you know.
And I got kids, man. I got babies. You know, I mean, I got beautiful babies, man. I mean, I done been married. I done had a whole bunch of women. I done had all kind of different women, man. The chick that I was with, that's an AKA. I ain't, you know, trying to put her out there or whatever, but she is. I've been with some quality women, man. The women I've been with are top tier women, man. You know what I'm saying? Now in their you know what they doing, you know. So I mean, I ain't been with no scallywags, you know, or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why I would have. I guess it's just because the thing is that I've been through so much and trying to deal with a lot of the stuff that I've been trying to deal with and trying to, you know, I'll be on and then I fall off and then I try to get back on and then I'm a type of cat. Some people ain't like me, but I'm the
Ain't
type
nothing wrong with that. At least you can acknowledge that, though. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm the type of cat though that when my financial or my life ain't right, I feel some type of way about that shit. And I don't even like really stepping the broads until my shit is solid. You know what I'm saying? Like that might be shallow about me or something, but I don't like stepping the women until my castle is good and I'm the king. I'm the true, you know, full-fledged king that I know I should be. I don't know. Maybe somebody else could, maybe, I don't know, flim flam or fake it till you make it. But I try to get my life together first, and then I try to get back out there, or whatever, or you know, try to really truly go out and go hard in the paint. But you know, that's just me. I mean, I don't know.
No,
Done
I feel
something to me. But when you think about it, and if you guys have ever been in the dating game, you'll understand that a lot of the quote unquote good guys, they're not good. You know, a lot of these guys, to tell you the truth, they don't know what they are or who they are. You know, and it's just sad that it takes women to kind of show that. But a lot of them don't realize that women are the catalyst to some of their behaviors. You know, so it's about articulating yourself, knowing who you are.
I'm the one that does the rock and all my sounds are legit.
The police began checking all doctors and hospitals. 3 hours later, in a hospital room in Minneapolis.
The Secret Service released a study this week on the growing terrorism threat of the so-called incel movement. Incel is short for involuntarily celibate. Adherents call themselves anti-feminist. The report says followers of the incel movement blame acts of violence on an inability to form relationships with women.
Today, there's a manosphere of groups like men's rights activists and men going their own way. One example, Elaine, this week, a disturbing TikTok trend has boys and men joking about killing their romantic dates. We found dozens of eerie videos set to pop music, some on accounts with tens of thousands of dedicated views. I should note that CBS News has reached out to TikTok for more information.
Being nerdy, black, and male does not entitle you to any woman's attention. Not knowing yourself as a black man and not dealing with your problems mentally within turns into incel behavior. Incels are almost always thought of as young white men, but black cells are harboring a similar rage that threatens to turn equally violent, and as a collective, these men should be held accountable in the presence of those who are productive and trying to make a difference.
What can communities do to help detect and thwart some of these tragedies?
Yeah, 4 words: behavioral threat assessment programs. This is see something, say something, kicked up a notch. These programs can be developed in workplaces, college campuses, local communities. Most programs rely on the public, and they are designed to detect and report early signs of a potentially dangerous person or situation. Elaine, they're not punitive, meaning they're intended to support those in distress before things escalate. Bottom line, if a person receives help sooner rather than later, they may be less likely to cause harm to themselves or others.
This guy here, man, I went on his live, his channel before he got they pulled it from YouTube, and I was watching a couple of his videos. Do you know this guy was getting like serious engagement? He's getting a lot of people watching his YouTube lives and watching his videos and commenting on his videos. And you see how many people watch my videos.
And this is why I put this in here. Just go. Let this finish, and I'm gonna show you why. I got a little bit of slack for it. I got some emails for it, but go ahead. And I kept that part silent just a little bit.
It's been a long back and forth cyber war between Pookies and Ray Rays, circle ELs, and the narrative just switched up into now high value versus non-high value, progressive versus non-progressive, non-select versus select, same thing. It took this long because the environment, the circumstances that are in the environment, and the people who suffer from those circumstances. No matter how much people like to downplay those things are very important in the development of a child, especially the mind of a Black boy.
What is the conspiracy to destroy Black boys? I believe the conspiracy is made up of white male supremacy, institutional racism, lack of Black male role models, the male socialization process, parental apathy and double standards, low teacher expectations, a female designed classroom, a distorted media, and an influential peer group. Let me now give my first position. I sincerely believe that only men can make boys men. Now don't misquote me. I didn't say that a single female parent or female teacher cannot rear or educate her child, but she need not do that by herself. But she calls upon her father, her brother, an uncle, a male neighbor, a nephew, a coworker. There needs to be some men in our children's lives. I want to explain to me how a boy is going to grow up to be a man if he's never seen any. In order to be anything, you must see it first. First question is, when did the conspiracy start? Who is against Black boys? Why is there a conspiracy against them? And what exactly is the conspiracy? Contrary to belief at birth, there are more Black boys born in the world than there are girls. It's close, but it's 1.03 Black boys born in the world to 1.0 Black girls. Hear me clearly. At birth, Black boys outnumber Black girls 1.03 to 1.0. A brief 18 years later, it is now 1.0 available, and that's the key word, available Black men to 1.8 available Black women. Almost 2 adult women for every 1 adult man. Now, the only question that should be going through your minds right now is what happened? We keep raising the wrong question. We keep asking, why do Black men hang on corners? Why do Black men lack direction? Well, if you ask this question, you answer the question 18 to 30 years too late. It is not a conspiracy to destroy Black men. It's a conspiracy to destroy Black boys.
The consensus is that these men are contributing to the stereotypes of Black, these Pookies and these Ray Ray, right? A lot of guys get into, the street thing. A lot of them get into hip hop music. Shout out to Waka Flocka. He was born in New York, grew up in New York for a while, and then he moved to Atlanta.
Yeah,
so
Alpha
people will
too.
consider Waka Flocka a Pookie because of that. Years ago, and if you watch, you'll see his transformation. But the biggest thing that I wanted to bring up about Waka.
You said what?
No, I said no, he's not an alpha, but he is a doctor now. He got a doctorate degree.
They gave him an honorary alpha a long time ago. I'll tell you why. I used to I'm a news hound, man. I'm even social media a long time. When he first came out, the alphas in Atlanta area, like the young guys, they gave him an honorary membership.
Wow. Oh, they must have gave it to him after he got the degree because he had never been to college.
They gave it to him when he first got famous when he was rapping. But
hear me out though, bro. See, because I'm an alpha. You cannot be an alpha until you have went to college. So they must have given it to him after he got the doctorate degree, because you can't. You have to at least have 2 years of college. When he first came out, he had not had any of that. This is what even here what they're explaining about how he was a Pookie at first.
Yeah, I'm not sure as far as when they gave it to him, as far as if he was in college or not. But what I'll say is, when they first did it, I was like, why is they giving this dude, this thug dude to rap a honorary membership? But this brother is smart as hell. He is a very good investor, and very good with money, and definitely. I definitely liked his songs and stuff like that, but they were wise beyond their years for even doing that though. You know what I'm saying? As far as my later opinion, they was on point, in my opinion.
Flocka's progress and his development is the fact that he just received his master's, if I'm not mistaken, in humanitarianism and philanthropy. But it just shows that the progressive Pookie is more prevalent than we think. I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb and say within the next 10 to 20 years, the progressive Pookie, which is an anomaly, will be somewhat of the norm. And this is what we see with Waka Flocka. Waka Flocka is a progressive Pookie because he's putting himself in a predicament where he can really get back to the Pookie.
Keith Gardner sometimes found a valuable social connection in a single person.
Whether it was a teacher, a bus driver, a janitor. My 6th grade teacher said, Keith, you can do it. You can do it. Hang in there. Hang in there. Come over to my house and eat on Sundays. Hang in there.
Gardner grew up an orphan, living with a crack-addicted aunt in a tough neighborhood in the Bronx.
Never knew my father. I knew he was on drugs and in and out of prisons.
Like so many of his peers, Gardner ended up on the streets, involved in drugs and crime. But a longing to escape that life overcame him.
Wanting to make it, wanting to succeed, wanting more out of life, I think is just the determination inside of me that made me want more.
Gardner hopped a Greyhound bus for Raleigh, finished high school, and worked his way through college. One night in Durham, 2 teenagers tried to rob him.
It's about a 16-year-old pointing a gun in my face. Another kid, maybe 14, has a gun in my face. So I turn around, so I have 2 guns facing me, and I'm in the middle.
Gardner ran. The teenagers shot at him, but missed.
I felt like someone let those 2 men down, those 2 gentlemen.
The following week, he applied for a job as a teacher at a youth development center run by the State Department of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention.
It's a job. It's a mission.
Gardner says it was time for him to be the kind of role model those teenagers need.
Had that positive factor in their life, been there, and they had that, they probably wouldn't have been here and maybe been at a basketball game or at home. You're going to write a poem of encouragement.
Gardner says ultimately these young men are responsible for the crimes they committed.
But a kid who wasn't taught values or doesn't have any morals, it's hard.
Hard to make the right choices. But Keith Gardner is living proof that they can overcome the odds and succeed.
Since 1987, Dr. Jawanza Kanjufu has warned us about the strategies and forces that were used systematically by historic white racists in America against Black boys to hinder them from their independence before adulthood. And in 2022, it has all surfaced in the most crucial way through academia, the law of the land, the United States Constitution, through loyal white women of the opposite sex, the white gay community, as well as Black right-wing politics, bought with their economical dollars. The conspiracy to entrap Black boys have always been at a super high. The dangers of white male supremacy has the urgency to gain global access of unearned advantages to keep alive the fantasy that they deserve to be on top. The white racists have joined in on the Pookie and Ray Ray conversation, not owning up to the white incel situations, the shootings at the schools, the turning the guns on Black people at historical churches.
Scott, Dylan Roof is being held in a jail cell in a building behind this barbed wire fence. We're told that he's in solitary confinement and under suicide watch.
What is your age?
21. Dylan Roof stood emotionless as he heard the charges against him. 9 counts of murder for the 3 men and 6 women investigators say he gunned down Wednesday night.
All units responding, 110 Calhoun State.
Active shooter, multiple people down.
New details emerged today about Wednesday's horrific rampage. According to a warrant for his arrest, Roof, seen here on surveillance video, entered Emmanuel AME Church around 8:06 p.m. wearing a fanny pack. After attending a Bible study class for an hour, the court documents say he stood up and pulled out a handgun and began shooting. All 9 victims were shot multiple times. The warrant says that before Roof left, he stood over a witness and uttered a racially inflammatory statement. CBS News has learned Roof told a witness that he had spared her life so she could tell others what happened. Roof evaded capture for more than 12 hours. According to the warrant, Roof's father and uncle recognized him from the surveillance image released to the public and contacted the Charleston Police Department. Roof's father also told police his son owned a .45 caliber handgun. When Roof was apprehended in Shelby, North Carolina yesterday, Law enforcement sources say a Glock 41, a 45 caliber handgun, was found in his car. He was arrested and taken to the Shelby police station.
Why did you do it?
Law enforcement sources say during an interrogation, Roof revealed that he had been planning the attack for some time and that he chose the church because it was an historic African-American church. Sources say he also revealed that while he was sitting in the Bible study, he considered abandoning his plan, but then changed his mind because a source says he thought if he didn't do it, no one else would.
Hate groups on the basis of white supremacy are targeting many of the Black YouTube spaces and other social media for political gain, allegedly by Democrats and Republicans. Online cults led by white racist women are manipulating and forcing both younger and older mentally ill, vulnerable incel, MGTOW right-wing politics men to join in on white supremacy against Black men and women, usually on YouTube, starting political debates and infiltrating Black chat rooms. The male participants online usually hide behind avatars, patriotism, and nepotism, pandering to the females in the cults in order to appear loyal. These hate-filled groups are starting to seep into the Black manosphere, joining panels disguised as friendly, which is giving them access to go on attack on panelists and people in the chat they disagree with. This access starts with super chatting the hosts of the show and subscribing to their channels in order to map out their plans, both politically and maliciously, to start an ongoing feud and race war with Black people online. To execute their plans, they have went as far as to recruit and manipulate Black men who have been rejected in society and also women who are problematic. Upon my investigation of this, since February 2022, I found that their talking points are there's no Black community and that there's only the community, which is a jab at the Black community, saying there's no togetherness in the Black community, as well as the Black race does not exist. What is Black? This is what you hear all the time. So these are their talking points, addition to using vulnerable Black people in order to eliminate Black people, Black race, for political gain. They are using these subliminals to blind you. Their terroristic acts hides behind freedom of speech and also have recruited non-American Nazis from other countries to join in against Black people in the United States. Their sophistication is to manipulate the law to tailor it to their hateful lifestyles.
You can't hide behind the First Amendment right, which is freedom of speech, without having to face consequences. You can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater and expect it not to have consequences. You can't go spewing racially charged rhetoric to the point where a white supremacist goes and threatens the lives of melanated people that calls you out on your chicanery. When you have neo-Nazis sending me death threats and flashing their firearms and giving me the Heil Hitler salute in front of a swastika for speaking out against them, you have yourself a terrorist organization. Needless to say, all of the racially charged language that they use, their followers use, when their white followers go after melanated people online. Anybody such as Dr. King, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, let's go down the list. They were there for the protection of melanated people, right? So how in the hell would it sound if these people that I just named allowed the people outside of the people they were trying to protect to hurt them? Anybody who had the safety, security, and the protection of the people that they're trying to help or save in mind would speak out against hate groups attacking people that look like them. If Candace Owens or the Officer Tatum or ABL or any of these other quote-unquote bootlickers were Black leaders, then they're the first Black leaders that I could think of that are protected by white racists. How in the hell do you feel that you're so superior that you could dictate someone's way of thinking and trying to sway someone's vote by manipulation and intimidation. So let's define what a terrorist is. A person who uses unlawful violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims. So by definition, BLM Global is a terrorist organization. Not the BLM movement. BLM Global is a terrorist organization. You know what else is a terrorist organization? Blexit. Blexit isn't causing any mainstream riots, but what they're doing to melanated people today is what the Klan was doing to melanated people in the late 1800s, using methods of intimidation. No longer are we going to sit around and let people badmouth the image of melanated people. We're not going to do it. Come on. Don't sit around and damn give me that horse shit about, well, black people are fucked up because they vote Democrat. I just get sick and tired of motherfuckers thinking that they can come in and because some conservative say some old dumb shit, that they can come up and try to scold melanated people how to vote and try to shame them and attack them and make threats towards them. That's not cool. Remember, everything you say and do on the internet, that shit's out there forever. Your grandkids one day get a hold of that bullshit. If white people are gonna hide behind you to spew their racism at black people and make death threats at black people, then we're just gonna move you out of the way and let white people be brave enough to do it without hiding behind a black face. See, this is why I wish that cancel culture didn't exist. Because the only reason that these racists gotta hide behind people like Candace and Officer Tatum is because they can't say it without being canceled. No, I want them to be able to say what's on their fucking minds and not hide behind a political party or political movement to do it. And as many as you guys know about me, I hold a solid conservative stance, and I find it ironic that popular black conservatives are lockstep in agreement with me on just about every topic that they cover. But when I don't get down with the negative blanket statements on black people, then all of a sudden I get called a leftist, or I get called a Democrat, or I get called a communist, get accused of playing the victim, or I'm accused of pushing a leftist woke agenda. Now, if these white folks who follows the likes of Candace, Tatum, ABL, or any of these other high-paid conservative bootlicks were not racist, then why are they so worried about what the lower class black people do? Because what you're showing melanated people is that the Republican Party is straight up racist when you have people like that speak for the Republican Party. Hey, thank you for hearing me out, because a lot of people that I talked to, they only had nothing but fucking sheer disdain for me when I exposed them for who they really are. On a side note, the biggest grift that I love what Blexit does is when they show that one clip of Malcolm X talking about the white liberal, but conveniently leave out what he said about the white conservative. He called the white liberal a fox. He called the white conservative a wolf.
Question for you then is, besides you ain't black, what do you have to say to young black voters who see voting for you as further participation in a system that continually fails to protect them?
When we see our people being brutalized by white bigots, white racists, we think that they are foolish to allow themselves to be beaten and brutalized and do nothing whatsoever to protect themselves. We never initiate any violence upon anyone, but if anyone attacks us, we reserve the right to defend ourselves.
Should other black men help that particular person who was attacked?
I think you'll find, sir, that there will come a time when black people wake up and become intellectually independent enough to think for themselves, as other humans are intellectually independent enough to think for themselves. Then the black man will think like a black man, and he will feel for other black people. And this new thinking and feeling will cause black people to stick together. And then at that point, you'll have a situation where when you attack one black man, you are attacking all black men. And this type of black thinking will cause all black people to stick together. And this type of thinking also will bring an end to the brutality inflicted upon black people by white people. And it is the only thing that will bring an end to it. No federal court, state court, or city court will bring an end to it. It's something that the black man has to bring an end to himself.
The term educated lame has been exaggerated with different meanings and is often misconstrued by Black YouTube and the Black manosphere. Many black men who frequent these spaces have become problematic while using those terms. It took everything in me to come to grips with both the understanding of Pookie and Ray Ray versus the educated lame. The difference is that Pookie and Ray Ray, who lives in the real world off the internet, do not know that the men speaking negatively about them exist. And the educated lames, who are majority on the internet, have found a home to shame and blame for almost every failure in their lives, mentally and emotionally, while claiming happiness and success, academia, career, the circles of success they run in, and the materialistic things, and for the most part, their complaints, like every other man on the internet, the black woman. To be fair, and upon my strongest belief in my assessment in witnessing both, a blend of the educated black men by degree and the black man who decided to go and obtain skills by trades and certifications, both have deep-rooted issues that do not concern the black woman, nor does it concern anything coming from the internet. As an educated black man myself, I do not believe that men who work service-related jobs such as Uber, Lyft, and other gig economy jobs are beneath other educated black men. I also do not agree that because a black man is educated that he's lame. He becomes lame when he starts to shit on other black men for their economical working class status. This type will often shift blame, gaslight in front of an already confused America. They will compare themselves to their favorite educators, authors, books, and white men. They will make one think that they are the elite and the best in class by show of look and no action of community work or community service. This makes other educated black men who are law-abiding and upstanding citizens in America look very bad. And if in the company of white people behaving badly, extreme hate groups and white supremacists, and in politics, this could be a very dangerous thing. Not to mention, these guys have been doing this over the internet for many years in order to gain white acceptance to prove that they are not like other black men. This behavior keeps the divide of black men and black brotherhood and helps defame the characters of black men who are educated and black men who are just of the working class. While we all are aware of the economical disadvantages of black America, also the black on black violence, we should separate ourselves away from people who want to divide black excellence or who would never mention black excellence. I further encourage all black men of all ages to obtain a college education to the highest level. At the same time, not only to just work at a job, but to become CEOs of your own companies. That is possible right here in America.
Man, that's what's up, man.
I appreciate it, man.
That's a pretty good documentary, man.
I appreciate it. Just wait to part 2.
Okay.
I'm get deeper into the accountability of Pookie, because in no way am I advocating for Pookie behavior. But the thing is, these guys have started to call people Pookie who they think is Pookie, and they don't even have the right Pookie.
Yeah, I mean, this is I really I haven't said much, but okay, like I say, the main person that was saying a lot about the whole Pookie and Ray Ray thing was attorney Dennis Sperling. It's funny to me because to me, how I look at Dennis Sperling as a progressive Pookie. So I mean, it's like
yeah, that is true. That's true. That's true.
I mean, like, because see, here's the thing. Like, I look at, I don't judge anybody, but I do.
Oh yeah, don't forget to like that video.
Okay, yeah. Let me do take care of that now. The
and,
thing is
and you can later on put a comment there too if you want to. But I prefer you put one.
I gotta close. I gotta minimize it so I can hit the light. Let me see here. Let me stop sharing here. Yeah. I look at how you what neighborhood you from and whatnot, and it's like, I mean, that's how I look at it, and who you was raised around, and it's like, to me, it's like your friends and contemporaries were Pookie and Ray Ray's. You yourself, how could you not, be the same? I mean, I know you didn't stay in the house 100, 24/7 like you was on lockdown. So it's like I said, that's why I led with, as far as black people in America, we have so few small enclaves of wealthy elites that we almost surrounded by quote unquote Pookie and Ray Rays. These are our friends. These are people we went to school with. These are people we grew up with. It is a very small, minute black people that have been in a bubble, in an elite bubble, where they weren't, even them, they still, because it's so close to other areas where they live, that they've been around these guys, um, you know that it's almost inescapable for the black community to not be around quote unquote Pookie and Ray Rays. Because we, like I say, we have so small of a bubble of black elites and black middle class that it's inescapable for us. That's part of our culture, rap culture. Even R&B. That's the street culture is what we grew up with even before I was born. Because we came. Before the projects, it was the slums. And it's just it's stupid to really zero in on these guys, because like that said in the video, in the documentary, this is going to be the norm. I think we already in that. We already in the norm where you have everybody on this panel is a progressive Pookie.
You know what? You said something. You was thinking, you saying something about what would be the norm. You talking about DS1 part, right?
Yeah, we all are. That is becoming the norm now. I mean, you have some people that have done a lot of different things. They might have had shootouts. They might have been even pimping, but they done progress. They had to square up. It happens. It's called life.
And the crazy part about it, though, bro, is that in the black manosphere, you have so many different sectors. You do have the PUA sector. You do have the educated lame sector. You do have the guys that are just straight up educated and just real and down to earth. I mean, I'm one of them. So I'm like in between. it was supposed to be like Perfect Timing said, brothers elevating brothers, not so much of, and the thing is, these guys, they have taken so many super chats from and cash apps from the progressive Pookie, but yet they still continue to having their titles what they are against. You see what I'm saying? It's just like a person going to church. They're going to church for a reason. They're not coming there for you to point them out of the crowd and say, hey, stand up. You did XYZ, you did this, you did it. It ain't about that. Maybe people are coming to you because they want to change their life. Maybe you said something on your stream that made them want to change their life.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I grew up in a middle class black community, and I mean it was a lot of thugs. I rolled with them. These were my friends. I mean, you could even call me a thug back in the 90s. I used to listen to No Limit and then later Cash Money. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this, but I didn't have to go do no licks or sell no drugs or nothing like that. I mean, I didn't have to want for nothing. I just wanted more. So I did. I cut grass. I, shovel snow, rake the leaves, got a little small job, so I could get a nice little haircut, buy me a little extra outfit or two.
See, those things right there are so important today. Kids today, they ain't looking for that. They're looking to be the next TikTok star. I'm talking like they want $3 million, like right off the bat.
Yeah.
And it's the simple things, Growing up, it was so hard because it wasn't, things weren't really handed out to you. You had to work extra hard to get that record deal. You had to work extra hard to be able to buy that next polo from the polo collection. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You really had to.
Yes, they said a record. I posted something from Steve Stout, and he said that basically record companies, they want you to create your own fan base and following first. Then if you want a record deal, come and see us. Before cats had to go, they wanted to get a record deal first so the record company could actually go get them on and make them famous and everything like that. Now the record company wants you to have your own following, and get your own, build your own brand first, and then if you want a record deal, come see us, come holler at us. So
because today you have to really it's easy, but I tell you, they rather have people who already got a following.
Yeah.
And and that's what even my page is for. Like I told a lot of brothers, I didn't come into the space to be arguing back and forth with folks. I came here because I was building up a resume, because I need people like Netflix. I need people like Vice TV to be looking at me. I don't need them seeing me on panels arguing, And I stated in the documentary too, because Alonzo know what I'm talking about. In February, we had a few racist people, coming up on the panels and stuff and coming in the chats, doing different things, and we were arguing with each other so much, all the men, to the point to where we wasn't able to see the big picture, that you had some of the women who were very against the black men building, and they was trying to tear the black manosphere down. Then they also had, the white folks that was already had an agenda for political,
Yeah, let me ask you. So that acronym or that channel name or whatever, Blexit the Community. Who is that? Did y'all find out who that was, or?
No, that dude right there is a part of the coon goons that be all them dudes that are coons that you saw. Yeah, they in the Acrobat Clown Crew. I call them the Acrobat Clown Crew, and they don't see nothing good when it comes to black folks. Now, so they black dudes like us, but they get up on the panel and start spewing off this rhetoric about Pookie and Ray Ray. And they'll look at you and just say, "Hey, man, you look like you got 8 kids. You look like that kind of stuff," and they don't even know who you are.
Oh, okay. Republic, all the Republicans.
Yeah, them kind. The conservatives, and that's the problem that you have now. Ricky Mata is the guy that was there with the North Carolina jersey. He's a Republican, but he is all for his black folks. He ain't about to tap dance for no white folks when it comes to that, and I don't blame him. I'm not a racist person myself, but I call out racism, and because I started to call out racism while these dudes were arguing, I was the third eye, because I'm like, look, man, we need to get back on track and start building. And then you had all these racist folks that were coming inside of the chats doing different things, and they particularly use a white woman to do it. And she's on the internet. I don't need to mention her name, but she is a person that started a whole lot of this stuff. So I tied that into Dr. Jawanza Kanjufu, the conspiracy to destroy black boys. And the thing is, they can't really destroy us because we're already men. And that's why we're here trying to build. And as we were trying to build, you had this woman that was coming in different chats, black chats, super chatting, and then she'll try to be nice so she can get a wrench. And then she'll start to attacking people in the chat. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, she was doing that, and she was going after just people. If you got
that was a I every now and again I will I haven't done it lately. I will listen to Nazis, the White Citizens Council. I'll listen to the Klan to see what they talking about, and they one of their strategies is to
infiltrate black spaces,
use avatars, and infiltrate any type of social media that black people congregate in. Every time I listen to them,
RBR tried to tell you that day when you was on his panel. Remember, I know he kind of rude, but that. See, we know the same people that was doing this stuff. I saw you on the panel.
Yeah, I was listening to RBR for a minute, but he kind of he's kind of toxic. He's very toxic. After a while, that starts to wear down on you. That people's toxicity, it starts to rub off on you. I was listening in the clouds to see what he was talking about, because I was listening to Reg the Bad Guy, and then he was talking about RBR, and then I was listening to RBR for a minute. And I was like, oh, okay, this dude's kind of intelligent, but he's toxic,
The thing with him, what you got to learn with him is that before you get on his panel, sit back in the clouds and watch, because the thing is, things that trigger him would be that you don't agree with him on Obama. You don't agree with the Democrat type. See, I'm not Democrat or Republican. None of them work for me as a black man, because
I was more close to Obama than he'll ever be. My grandfather went to fundraisers and small private parties and talked to Obama face to face. I mean, I was only 1 degree away from Obama. I mean, I wasn't into politics like that. I donated to his campaign at the last minute. I was very passionate about Obama on his first election. I voted. I was in line like it was a soup kitchen in the 1930s with my mother to vote for Obama. You know what I'm saying?
Thing is, man, I mean, people have a right to do what they want, but the point I was trying to make was the fact that these guys in the black manosphere and also in different sectors of black YouTube were arguing about the most stupidest shit. Is either, and I understand the trauma bonding and the things that went on with child support, but I'm like, yo, bro, I know you're down, but when you gonna get up? You got a decent brother like Alonzo, who's already married. He don't come to the spaces for that. He comes to the spaces to build, to say, hey, man, do y'all have insurance? Do y'all have what other things that we could build up on other than, this other stuff? So I think that what they need is a channel that's strictly for certain things. You go to that channel, you use it for that, get what you need out of it, and then graduate to the next level. Because
yeah, I mean, I just where I differ with RBR, kind of where I just dropped off the ball. You know, Obama is a black elite. Okay, he's a black capitalist. Okay, RBR, he ain't when he said he you know he read when I got the vibe where he was on some, he want to be broke forever type shit. Like I was like, that was where I had to part ways. I can't vibe for that because I'm not saying that everybody gonna want unless you ain't trying to be rich, I don't want to talk to you. I'm just saying it's not productive. One of our biggest problems in the black community is our lack of wealth. That's why I mentioned that about 5 times in the discussions of your documentary, why this debate is even as such. White folks don't talk about their, trailer trash and, the rednecks and shit like that. We talk about it because we so goddamn poor. We don't what's going on, she? We so goddamn poor that we gotta talk about a lot of this because it's so many of us that are Pookie and Ray Rays coming from humble beginnings. That
the thing is, like I was saying, the point I was making was instead of them dealing with the things in their own, everybody can't come to the party or to the building of.
Can't make it to the party. Can't make it to the party.
Yeah, but they made it through because, like I told you, how they got in. They got in through super chatting. Said, "Oh, I like your streams. I'm an avid listener." No, you're not, ma'am. Because if anybody that's been listening to certain people, they know people from different chat rooms. They know this.
Man, my only person that supported me on my channel, as far as gave me a Cashapp, was a Russian. a Russian princess, she gave me $10. I think her name is what was her name? Woman of Tomorrow. Now I asked her.
Yeah, I know who she is. Yeah,
I said, are you KGB? I was dead ass serious because I was like, why is all of these Russians following me? I am ex-military, and whatnot, and I definitely am intelligent. But I'm like, okay, this one chick, okay, she's from Eastern Europe. Then she's Russian. I'm like, what is up with this? And I mean, hey, she's the only one supported me. Hey, hey, anybody else?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, bro,
all the Russians, I accept your curse.
You know what?
She's kind of quiet now. I ain't seen it in a minute, but.
Yeah, the Woman of Tomorrow is cool because she from out in Oakland, out in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, everybody that's people looking for different. All money ain't good money. Just put it that way, And I understand, and that's what's been happening in spaces. The money has been winning out, and these brothers are.
I used to support everybody. If you seen me consistently,
I remember.
I done supported all these cats, and they done started to act like they gonna get so big, and then now you start one thing you starting to see is people starting to digress, and then it's like you get they head get big, and then it's like you forgot one thing in business. You never want to forget your foundational customers, or supporters or contributors. Even if you go into politics, you talked about Obama. Obama never forget his foundational supporters, the people that basically work with him, signing petitions, knocking on doors, making phone calls, because those are the people that help you on your grassroots level. But then you got people that I don't know why they do it. It's just YouTube, man. I mean, they head get swole, and then I mean, basically, they start forgetting the people that support them. They start taking wrenches away and shit, and start, you know what I'm saying, acting brand new and blocking people and shit. It's like, well, you know, you forgot one thing. You know, I supported you,
like they've already arrived or something. I know what you're saying.
and then guess what? I supported you, and then I could unsupport you too. You know, and then after a while, if you did that to me, you did that to somebody else, and then they gonna unsupport you, and then it's just a it's just a chain of events. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't, you know, that's see, if you gonna run a business, that's not how you do business. That's bad business, because you know you're not supposed to forget your first customers are your best customers. You know, they the ones that's supposed to get the biggest discounts, the biggest support from your end, all of that type of stuff. And it's like, you know, yeah, I mean, I think she's a genuine person. I mean, how genuine, I don't know. But you know, when I was in the military, we were taught to watch out for commies. I mean, that was you know, my fraternity is the Marine, the Department of the Navy, the Marine Corps, and the Navy. You know, I mean, that's my fraternity. I didn't make it to Alpha yet. You know, it's still.
Oh, you do belong to a military fraternity.
Yeah, my fraternity is the U.S. Navy. You know, Department of the Navy, the Marines, and the Navy. You know, if whenever something hit the fan, I should be able to go to a fellow Marine or a Navy, you know, veteran, and tell them what's wrong, what I need help with, and they're supposed to help me, and I'm supposed to help them. You know, as well as any other veterans. Veterans do help each other out. That's why you have VFWs, you know, you have American Legion, you know, clubs, because that's supposed to be a camaraderie of veterans to help each other and tell stories, and as well as you know, party and have a good time, and you know, help each other out. I mean, but you know, the thing is that, yeah, that's my fraternity. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the thing is that, yeah, I don't know. I don't know who these people are. I know who you are. You're a fly brother from the Bay. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, and the thing is, though, I think we should join in and do more shows together. Bro, I'm cool with that. You know, do lives, because I don't do lives. You know, but I know that when I go places, people do come. You know, and I think you need to get back on your grind with your channel, because I mean, you're a good entertainer, man. You can you can not engage the crowd.
Yeah.
I'm getting into it, but I'm just a filmmaker. That's all I am.
Yeah, you pretty good at it, man. I mean, this one I definitely like it. You know, it flowed pretty good. You know, I really, I would have to say I enjoyed this one probably the best. I don't know about the other one with the Asian hate, but this one I definitely liked it. it was very, very interesting. I'll say DJ Kuda had the best segment. I mean, you know, his level of intellect, his level of dialogue and information, it was the best out of all of the dialogue, other than, of course, I ain't gonna, you know, digress about diminish Dr. Joanja Kunjufu. I mean, you know, that definitely was
Well, you know, man, I love that you telling me this stuff, because the thing is, I'm treating it like an introduction, and then I get deeper into it. See, because this part right here was to show the root of the problem.
You could have sold this to Netflix if you might have made it longer. Well, actually, it was pretty long.
Yeah. The documentary is from 25 to 20. Well, I ain't gonna say 25. Right at 35 to right at 60 minutes.
You could have shopped this to Netflix, and you right in the Bay. You could have shopped it to them. They would have well, you kind of personalized it a lot, but because they wouldn't know the people on Netflix watching, they don't know who them people with the channel names and stuff is. But I've seen lesser stuff on Netflix. You know, that you ever thought about making they have a documentary festival that you could submit documentaries. I'm not sure what it's called, but just like they have a Cannes Film Festival and
Yeah, I've been to a few. I know what you're talking about. The thing is, I have promised a lot of the people in the Black Manosphere a trailer. Go back to my channel really quickly. Go back. I'll show you something.
All right.
No, don't go to that. Don't go back to that. Just go back to the actual channel itself.
Yeah, I had to open that up in my history so I can go to your channel. Okay.
Okay, now go to videos. Okay, well, actually go. Oh, okay, yeah, go down all the way down to the right. Right there where it says introducing Kwafi Nino.
Okay.
Yeah, click on that.
Who is the chick in the hula hoop?
Pause it right there. Pause it. Okay, the next one after the Pookies and the Ray Rays is who lied to you about leadership, a toxic masculinity subject. That's what people say, that it's a toxic masculinity subject. I don't think that it's a toxic, but I just did that to be sarcastic. But we all around here are saying what it is. We have our own definitions of what is a leader. And some of them have always aligned it with being a leader of a woman. You know, you have to first be a leader of yourself, you know, and your stance and how you walk, how you talk, you know, everything you do about you should show leadership, not because, oh, I'm gonna make her obey me, you know, and that's what we having right now. You know, and I'm not a dude that that excuse women for bad behavior, and I'm not a dude that excuse men for bad behavior, you know. But a lot of dudes are blending in and using all these excuses to blame other people. So it's a lot of shame, blame, and explain.
Well, to me, I could kind of tell somebody's toxic by, to me, it's kind of more, not so much toxic, but mental illness. You know, like I understand mental illness a lot. Now, some people say it's even going deeper, maybe even going back to Africa, demons, or even in the West, demons, right, or demonic spirits, and you know, some people you might be listening to them, and you can kind of sense that a level of they're dealing with some type of mental illness. They might be on some medication. You know, you got people that are on here that are battling mental illness. You know, it's just reality. I mean, I've had problems myself. I mean, so I understand it very much well. You know,
And ain't nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, it's all about being able to talk about it like how we're talking about it now. If you saw in the documentary, you saw what I said, Black men's mental health does exist.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I could tell somebody is kind of like not dealing with their issues. You can hear it, and it's kind of like the reason why I kind of like I kind of step away from certain people, even if they might be going through something, because that shit can rub off on you, in my opinion. That spirit can kind of latch on, or frequency can latch on to you.
And it could be frightening, because I'm gonna tell you, bro, I did not know, because I was a person that always stuck to myself, even on YouTube. But I decided, after we all had stopped going to Roger Report, a lot of us had started our own channels, because it had gotten a little bit toxic over there. But these dudes, they weren't really ready to leave out from over there. I think, or either they could have just, went into figuring out what they want to do first. Because I'm gonna tell you, before I started doing this, I waited about a year or two before I thought about it that long, because first of all, it takes time. You have to dedicate yourself to these type of things. But I'm doing something totally different from everybody else, though.
Yeah, I just, even that, like, I ain't got nothing against nobody, but after a while, I think it's kind of unhealthy to listen to people that just got a thumbnail all the time. Like, I mean, it's okay. I think it's okay after a while. Like, you're beyond the thumbnail. I mean, I started my channel and I had videos of myself. For me, I might have just had a thumbnail. I would have kept it like that if I didn't have video.
Some people want to see your real life. They want to see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Really.
When you just got a thumbnail and I just hear your voice, it's like, after a while, it gets kind of, I don't know, it gets kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's like it's just the same regurgitated talking points, or even words that are used day in and day out. It just gets to where it's almost like you regurgitate and throw up.
The things you wake up early in the morning, bro. You do not want to get up to that kind of thing. See, because my thing is with me. When I get ready to really go live, I'm gonna talk about different things. I talk about things that a lot of men in the space won't talk about, like your motherfucking hygiene. That's very important.
Yeah.
Going to the doctor, you
Right.
being a big boy and not washing, all that.
Right.
And they don't want to talk about that because they think that that's funny.
Yeah.
I talk about, because that's how we gonna get rid of your cleanliness. Will help your mind being clean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's definitely something good. See, if we're men, and if we don't have wives, or we don't have girlfriends, and you living by yourself or whatever, how you living like a bachelor. We all know how bachelors live. If you ain't got nobody coming helping you clean or whatever, most likely, you might have fall short in those areas. And then self-care. You talking about self-care. That goes along with your fashion. I mean, why you don't want to put on clothes and you stink, and then you ain't brush your teeth, and I honor my parents by brushing my teeth, because both my mother and my father, even my grandmother and grandfather, used to remind me, brush my teeth. That's how I honor my mother and my father, by brushing my teeth. Believe it or not, washing my face. I take a shower every day, but I mean, you got a lot of people, man, a lot of men. I hate to say it, and you know it. You can see when they do actually come off the thumbnail. You can actually, or even if they show their picture, you can see why they're not getting women. You can see why they're even complaining about women. They might not be cognitive that other people can see them, but we can.
Well, let's say this. Now, I understand to a certain degree of the safetiness of some guys not wanting to show their face, but then again, I'm not that dude that's going to agree with everything you say. So my thing is, if you turn around, you hiding yourself from child support, I get that part, but at the same time, pay your child support or go take that. Nobody, government shouldn't have to tell you to do that. And they hide behind the avatar because of that. That's number one. Or number two, they hide behind, you got some dudes who's just straight up single. Ain't got no wife, ain't got no kids, no girlfriend, no nothing. But they hide behind the avatar because they know they're gonna do some fuck shit. And the fuck shit would be all the way down to trolling and causing problems in the space. See, it's easy for you to let a person like that up on your panel. They throw the rock and hide the hand and disappear. You don't see, you don't hear nothing back from them until months later.
I ain't gonna lie. Like this YouTube or whatever, it's like a ecosystem, and I ain't gonna lie, man.
Chamber.
Yeah, that too. But one of the things I will say that I know people don't like the Grandmaster Troll, but
I like
he serves a purpose. He even serves a purpose.
But he showed who he is.
Yeah, right. Because it's like at the end of the day, I'm like, well, you know, this guy, man, he serves some type of purpose because it's like
he exposed these niggas that's doing the wrong thing.
No, it's not even so much that. The fact that he exposes people that or doxes people, that's, I ain't gonna lie, that serves a purpose. Because it's like if you got people that maybe be following you for years and supporting you for years and they don't even know what you look like and your name is, that might not be healthy. Shit. That might not be healthy.
The problem is you got a lot of these guys that's starting a whole bunch of shit behind the avatar. And when you see them and come find out they don't went to the Manosphere meetup, they're like, this is this little motherfucker that was talking all this shit behind this avatar.
Yeah.
You know, and that really pisses people off.
Well, I have a small following or whatever. I've not had any problems with anybody, and I'm sure
you ain't that type of dude, though, bro. You don't get caught up in a whole bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If it ain't about the money, I really
already know that too.
Yeah, I really don't. Like the thing is, though, it could change. You know, one of the people that I find that they zero in on is when you do have a big following and a bunch of engagement of people as well as money.
Foolishness or dysfunction on the panel. That's when
No. When you get a lot of engagement and then you get a lot of financial support for your channel or even make money on your channel, that's when these people come.
Yeah,
you know, it's almost like the Wizard of Oz when them damn them bird men or whatever start coming. They start coming just like that. As soon as you start getting financially successful on your channel, they start coming. You know, and the thing is that these people, I don't have no problem because I'm just a small guy with a small channel. I mean, these people listen to me, and then they regurgitate my what I say because I can hear them. You know, when they go live and shit like that.
Funny, man.
Nah, for real. Like, you know, I just don't say nothing. I just don't say nothing. But the thing is that
a lot of people are not creative and can't.
They don't have my brain. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, I ain't toot my horn, but you know, I am smart. You know,
toot the horn, bro.
People plagiarize the smart. You know, cheat off your paper. You know, but the thing is that you know, these people, if it get too extreme, another thing is they know who's the weak targets. I'm not a weak target.
And look, they got me like that because you know I'm a pretty decent dude, man. I'm pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this documentary was supposed to be out that you just saw. I released it 3 days ago. It was supposed to have been out in February, but because a whole bunch of shit that was going down on YouTube, I had a woman that was doing a racist white woman that was doing 4 9-hour streams on me. 9 hours now.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you had some haters. Wow.
Yeah. And then dudes in the manosphere, you thought they were cool with you, and I'm like, kind of found out they jealous and shit. For what? I ain't nobody to be jealous of.
Yeah.
I don't need to be up on no panels and stuff like that. But one thing I do have, man, is people that really support me. Yeah. I have that. I really do. And the thing is, whoever I'm around and whoever comes around me, they'll see the same.
Mm-hmm.
They will see the same. But, I'm learning now that I can't just jump on anybody's panel anymore.
Yeah, I had to learn that. I had to learn that too. And then sometimes people might be ticked off at you, And then here's another thing. I think because YouTube is a bunch of clicks. People, even if they say they're not part of the manosphere, everybody, if you ever seen them, and then if you see other people that go to their channel, they might not say they part of the manosphere, but they are. They just don't want to say it, because
I have manosphere talking points because I started off in the manosphere, but I separated myself away. And I did it in between of doing this trailer that you're looking at here. But now I have an obligation to fulfill. Once I give them this, then I'm gonna go into something else, and it'll be me doing something totally different. Ain't gonna be talking about no relationships, arguing with people. It ain't gonna be none of that. I don't give a fuck what you into. I don't even know who you fucking, because it ain't got nothing to do with me.
But see, if it get too extreme, like I say, I'm not a weak target. I've been in IT. I've been in IT for 15 years. I'm ex-military, ex-Navy, war veteran, and I also work security. I got a private eyes license. Anybody if it got too extreme, whatever their channel name is,
you can find it out.
It's a Google. It's just a matter of filing a case and getting a warrant.
That's right.
It'll go straight to Google. You'll find out their name, their email address.
That's right.
It's that goddamn simple. And that's why I just, I don't even, it's never went there. I hope it never does. And it most likely won't. But if it does, it's that goddamn simple. It's a matter of either you doing it yourself or getting a lawyer to file paperwork to get a warrant through or subpoena through in Google. Yeah. Google already has your information, your IP address. Unless you just really good, it's some good people. Because some good, on the IT side, there's some good people out there.
There's some crazy folks out there, man. And I see why you were saying you like to get to know folks first before you do anything. Like even me and you have talked on the phone and stuff. It's I get it. I do.
Yes, sir. You see what I'm talking about now.
I mean, I've been through it. I've been.
Man, I done seen people, that are very well-known names or whatever, right? And when I peep how they are, I mean, I'm like, damn, okay, so you cool with this guy, and you telling his personal business on the internet on your channel, and this was somebody you was cool with, whatever.
Dude, I done been there. I introduced a dude that was supposed to be close to me to the Black Manosphere. He got on Pastor $40 channel and started telling all of my business, my real life shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I done seen that, and it's like, well, how I'm supposed to be doing business with you or being cool with you when this is what you do to other people? What make you think you ain't gonna do that to me? But these people, they, like I say, they have an expiration, and some of these people are. If you see them, they
we both ex-correction officers, and I told him, I said, look, bro, you know better than this shit. I said, I'm gonna tell you something. We don't talk no more. I said, but if I hear you speak my name again, I'm gonna make sure I take that ragged ass motherfucking house that you got. I said, if I had 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot out, do you think that I'd be sitting around being a motherfucking mean person to people? I said, I ain't never done nothing to you. I've been cool with you and your family since I was 19 years old. And you get online and you do this shit here? You know, so that's dangerous, man. It's dangerous. You know, so I'm very careful. I'm not going to make myself too accessible to people unless I know they have a pretty decent channel. They're not with a whole bunch of bullshit. They're not letting other people up on the panel just to get up here. You know what I'm saying?
Man, them people, man, they running around trying to survive. Wait, hold on. Let me share my screen and let me play this. I gotta get my my StreamYard Pro back. This is what people trying to do right now. Hold on. Do you hear that?
No.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me play. Let me hold on. Let me hold on. Let me share this again. Let's see. It must be. Let me just share my screen. Hold on.
All right. Yeah, boy, we've been up here 3 hours. I'll be down in a minute.
Yeah.
But I would like to do more streams, bro. You know, we try to build on something, you know, because I will be doing a lot of traveling, and wherever I go, I might end up filming, you know what I'm saying, and doing everything.
Yeah, it's I don't know why that shit is not showing. Let me see. Let me open it up. But yeah, I mean, I just be goofy sometimes, man. But
hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. I like laughing. I like fun shit.
I got to get my pro account back. That's what's going on right now. That's what people trying to do, Bo. They running from panel to panel. And it's like, man, all you had to do was be centered and ground, and like, you know what I'm saying, like you said,
be a one-man show sometime. You know, that's why I like DS1. That was in the documentary you saw. He is a standalone guy. Sheed is a standalone guy. You're a standalone guy. DJ Kuda is a standalone guy.
Yeah.
When you stand alone and you're not in a whole bunch of cliques,
your
channel can survive too.
I got 11,000 views with just me talking about vinegar, and then I got another video that's 3.5 thousand views. I was just talking about a app review. I mean, a lot of these people, I ain't shitting on nobody, but they popular because they got with this person, and it's cool. But I have videos that, you know, have a lot of views, and it's just me talking. You know what I'm saying? So me giving some information out or whatever, and that's it. You know, you know, I'm tooting my horn again, but you know, a lot of these people are corny by themselves. I'm corny by myself a lot of times. Sometimes, you know, I just, maybe my energy ain't there or whatever, but you know, sometimes I'm on point. You know, maybe I took a shot of Crown or two or whatever. I mean, you know, it just happens. And then when you come on, your light shines, and you know, whatever you doing, you know, I'm gonna showcase it. You know, whatever you talking about, you start singing a ballad or two. I mean, of course people gonna want to listen to it. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. You know, like I was telling you, even what we just saw the documentary, I was singing on Sunclaw part where, you know,
Yeah.
he was talking about, I just do a little bit of different things, man, to entertain because you
I
still
mean,
need.
I'm sure this video gonna do good on the playback because, you know, one of the videos I did on Kevin Samuels, it was just underrated. I was just talking to underrated for about 3 or 4 hours, and
Okay.
a lot of people. I was talking about Kevin Samuels, and then I was talking about one of the first black billionaires, Reginald Lewis, and that video, people must have been sharing the shit out of it because I was, underrated got on there, and we was just talking, and for like a few hours, and he was telling his story about the '70s in New York and Rucker Park, and we was just going back and forth, and a lot of people like listening to that video. I put it on my Patreon at first, but I put it back off to the public, but yeah, man, I mean, I ain't saying if I had somebody that was on my channel I wouldn't do better. I would even pay somebody if I had the money
But you
to
know what? It ain't even all about that, bro. It's just all about you being genuine and being who you are to the
yeah.
point of men elevating men and y'all trying to work together. You know what I'm saying?
I
And too often we can't do that because you always got one
yeah,
person who tries to upshine the other one, like me.
yeah.
I'm
I
not.
had some problems.
I'm,
That chick that I had on my video, I had 2 videos where I had some little young chick. Um, she she basically, I paid her about, I think, what, $30 an episode, and then she basically shitted on me. Tried to shit on me two live streams. The first one, she was, I just had to check her a little bit, but then the second one, she just got full of herself, and I had to kick her off. But it happens. You don't know what nobody intentions are.
definitely, bro. Yep. But look, man, I'm gonna get down. I really enjoyed this, man. And whenever you back on, I'm gonna put my email in the back chat again. That way you'll know. Uh, you hit
I
me up.
still got your number. I'm pretty sure it's,
Yeah, I'll put that in there too. I'll put that in the back.
Okay.
It's the Nino Show at yahoo.com.
Okay.
Because we could do some collabs sometime.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanna, you could talk, man. I like fashion. I mean, we talk. We talk a lot about gentrification. We really don't go deep in fashion that as I really want to go. I mean,
That's fine. We can do that,
about
man.
it a little bit.
That.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be making things on live streams. I'm gonna be doing pattern making too and design.
yeah, and then the music. I mean, I like talking to you about, maybe that's a big thing now. Actually, that's people actually talking about their stories about how they used to know different people. That's why I asked you about Young Jock, and you know, you said you knew 112 and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, man, people be wanting to hear those stories because that's what they were listening to. You know.
I try my best not to name drop and all that, but at the same
oh yeah, that's right.
it goes to show you that I am that person. I am I've been around a lot of places, but I try not to be like, oh well, I saw him back up on this album. I did this, I did that. No.
No, you want to. No, you want to, bro. That's what happened. You got paid for that. You did that. You should tell that. Now, I do agree. You might not want to name drop. Well, we went to this club and this happened. Some people comfortable telling that, their stories or whatever. But if you sung backup for whoever, that story should be told because that's what you did. That's you know you might be shy about it, because I'll be honest, I'm shy about talking about certain things. Like, I don't really talk that much about my military history and stuff. It was short. You know, but
let me tell you something. It's crazy. I'm not shy on the camera or nothing like that, but when I get ready to put shit out, I do get butterflies. Like, damn, what they gonna think about it? You know?
man, these people,
have
these
to
people have seen all kind of stuff, man. They just be surprised, man. That's all. That you know, they don't even be really to be surprised, man. They just be. You might think that they might have some type of thing, but they like you, man. I mean, legit, I could tell you, they like what you saying. You know, they don't like my ass, but they like you probably more than me. You know what I'm saying? So shit. I mean, that's saying something. I don't know how much that's saying, but it's saying something.
Okay, I feel it. You know, the thing is, some people, man, they can draw good energy to you. We can draw good energy to the room. You know, I think I'm one of those, and I think also that it's easy to, you know, catch a whole bunch of bees with honey versus lemon.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Maybe can you talk about prison stories?
Oh yeah, I'm down for that, and I'm gonna see, can I interview this guy who we can interview him together, who is on who got nothing but a strictly prison channel. When he got out, now he got about 8,000 subscribers.
Now, I've never been to prison, ladies and gentlemen, but I've always been intrigued about those like prison shows and stories and shit like that. You know, and I've never been.
Well, I've been a correction officer, so I know, but I also know both sides of the law. To be dressed like this outside of uniform and be put down on the ground myself because they thinking I'm somebody else.
Right. Yeah, I've been through that a few times.
Still a black man, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
been through that.
Well, I'm gonna get down, bro. And I'll you got my information, just hit me up.
All right, man. Nice talking to you, man. I enjoyed this this conversation, man. And yeah, they gonna hey, try to shop that around, man, if you can. You know.
Well, the thing is, people, it's been going up. I mean, people have been really looking at it. You know, the word been getting out. You know, say, oh man, you know, on DJ Kuda part, you know, he speaks about all the manosphere, you know, and then all the guys come over. For the guys that you did see in it,
yeah,
you saw a lot of them, didn't you? You know,
right? Yeah, I did.
But those are the people that people do listen to. You know,
right? Yeah.
Yep. All right, bro. Hit me up.
Right.
Text me or email me when you when you trying to do a stream.
All right. For sure, I will do. All right. Take it easy. Good night. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you know, like I say, you know, that Sierra's definitely got a prayer. You know, I'm trying to find out if anybody knows ASAP Rocky's prayer. You know, holla at me.